Hey everyone, come check us out at The Experience this Monday, March 6th at 6 p.m. Eastern. It's our usual time. We'll have all your favorites, Dynamite, Marvel, DC, and everyone will be here. Rex, hopefully John, Robbie. I'll come in if I feel like it, and you definitely know Nick will. So no matter what, it'll be a good time. Remember, it's March 6th. It's a Monday, 6 p.m. Eastern, only on The Experience. See you then.
Welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. I'm Rockin Robbie Live!
Hey everybody, welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. In particular, welcome to Rockin Robbie Live tonight. I am your host, Rockin Robbie Bills. How is everybody doing here on a Sunday night? We took a week off, had a work obligation, but now we're back. And we're back for like 4 solid weeks, I believe, before I go to Megacon. That's right, Megacon's coming up. Getting excited. Coming up at the end of the month, beginning of next month. It's going to be a blast. Robbie and Bueller are going to be wrecking Megacon, y'all. Just trust me. It's going to be a good time. You're going to want to be there if you're going to be there, because if you're going to be there, then you're going to see us there, and then we'll all be there together. Anyway, I am Rockin Robbie Billups. This is Rockin Robbie Live on Pop Culture Philosophers. This is the show where we gather, talk about movies, comics, pop culture, and a whole lot more. And even though we got a grand plan, because tonight we got the DC sneak peek, we got Marvel in the 90s, we got Batman, we got Show and Tell, all that and more. But even though we have this grandiose plan, this show is driven, fueled, if you will, by your questions, your thoughts, your comments, and your concerns. So get them in. Once you jump into the chat with a station, maybe a pop, pop, boom, whatever it takes to get it going. We're going to have fun tonight, 100%. I appreciate everybody being here. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, but all the participation that we really need is you being here. We really do appreciate it here at Pop Culture Philosophers. And if you want to help support the channel, there are many ways you can do so, including you can check out the brand new Pop Culture Philosophers shop at dynamicforces.myshopify.com/collections/Pop Culture Philosophers shop. It's right there across the bottom. There's a link in the description below. Lots of cool stuff there, curated by me and Rex from Dynamite and Dynamic Forces. Really cool stuff. You can visit BlackBox Comics. That's right, blackboxcomics.net. Enter PCP10. You get 10% off of all purchases there. Also, you can follow me on Twitter. You can follow Pop Culture Philosophers on Facebook and on Instagram. If you're on Facebook, make it official. Join the PCP Army. That's the official Pop Culture Philosophers Facebook group. All those links are in the description down below. If you're at dynamicforces.com, you can use code Robbie to save 10% on your purchase there. And of course, if you want $15 at Whatnot credit for a new Whatnot account, you can go to whatnot.com/invite/the Rockin Robbie. Also, you can support us at patreon.com/PCP, like these fine PCP patrons right there. And we really do appreciate all the support, station, but all the support we need is just you being here. However, if you want to do a super chat tonight, we're going to have a grand time tonight because we do have the super chat menu active. $1, encouraging me to drink some water, which I don't have any water in front of me, but it's not water time just yet. $5 for a beer cheers, $10 for a Hellboy song, $20 for a shot, $50 for me to chug a beer. And the first one's on me, so I got a delicious concoction here called the Redheaded Slut, but it's cranberry juice, it's Jägermeister, it's peach schnapps. This is what I typically drink when I do these things. I don't know why. There's a lot of sugar in this, but here's to you, PCP Army. Let's have a great Rockin' Robbie live. That's good. That's fun. I do want to also say that mystery boxes, that's right, PCP mystery boxes are now available. We got 10 available for this week. They are $30. If you're interested, email us at popcultureflossers@gmail.com. And if you have purchased a mystery box for the last couple months and you have not gotten it, you will get it this week. So thank you all for the support. And now that we're caught up, we're going to offer a little bit more just to help try to build up some funds for Megacon. Tomorrow night, PCP movie night. March Madness continues. We launched it last night over at Dylan's Horror Show with a look at 2014's Clown. And now we're going to Tenebrae. One of my favorite movies is from Dario Argento, one of my favorite scores, one of my favorite Argento flicks. I absolutely love this movie. But right before that, check out Scarpad Sci-Fi Sojourns as they talk about Infinity Pool. That's the new one from like Brandon Cronenberg, I believe, right? David Cronenberg's son. I haven't seen that one yet. Very interesting, though. I definitely want to. And then, of course, March Madness continues Saturday night at Dylan's Horror Show, 6:30 p.m. Central Time. We're talking about Lucio Fulci's The Black Cat. So lots of movie madness coming your way. Infinity Pool on Scarpad Sci-Fi Sojourns. That's tomorrow evening. And right after that, Tenebrae for March Madness on PCP Movie Night. And then March Madness continues Saturday night on Dylan's Horror Show with Lucio Fulci's The Black Cat. We now pause for station identification. All right, y'all, we're about to take a look at the chat, see who's here, see what you want to talk about. But before we do that, it's time for your First Five. And for the first five, we've been going through this 1995 Fleer Ultra Spider-Man set. And we're going through it. We're trucking through it, y'all. We're now in the team-ups, and this is just spotlighting other heroes. This is pretty awesome. That's an Iron Man. And that's like that mid-90s Iron Man costume. I think nowadays they call it the modular costume or whatever. But I love that costume from like Iron Man 300. Big deal to me. That's Bob Larkin. He's been a standout artist in this series. Then we got a badass Moon Knight. I remember Moon Knight. First time I ever read a Moon Knight comic was the Round Robin Amazing Spider-Man. Or the first time I should say I ever saw Moon Knight in a comic was the Round Robin, Mark Bagley, I think David Michelini. It's dope. Luis Perez, that's another standout in this set is that artist. There's a Nick Fury. I mean, it's all right. That definitely, like, when they got that David Hasselhoff Nick Fury movie going at Fox or whatever, whoever decided that David Hasselhoff should be Nick Fury definitely saw that card. Kind of weak. That's Joanne Daly. This Nova's pretty awesome. Is that... Oh, that's Nick Choles. Pretty decent Nova card, though. Richard Rider. Dick Rider if you're freaky, you know what I'm saying? And then we got Punisher. It's a pretty cool card. It's not like an ideal... I don't know. It's let me look at it again. Yeah, that's a pretty cool Punisher card. Mark Sasso is the artist on that. Spilios, I see you in here. Do you have this card? If not, we got to get you one. I wonder if I have any more of these outside of this set. So that has been your First Five. And don't forget, Super Chat menu is active. $1 encourages me to drink some water. $5 is beer cheers. $10 is the Hellboy song. $20 to do another shot. $50 chug a beer. but all we need is just you being here. So let's take a look in the chat, see who's here, see what's going on. We got GT Key Comic in the house station. We got William, what's up? The artist formerly known as Jesse Say What's in the building, so is R. Ariaga. There's Spilios, what is up? I have something to say. It's better to burn out than fade away. How you doing, Spilios? Spilios is taking some time off, chilling, reflecting. I wish you luck when you get back at it, bruh. Ouroboros is in here. Memento Mori, that's right. And all I got to say to that is today is a good day to die then. Just kidding. We're going to keep on trucking. Duffy is in the house. What is up? That one, Eric Station. CTA Frank. Trade Paper Dad. BJ's in the house with a pop. Boom. That one is a little time delay. OUG is in the house. What is up? Spilio says, can't wait to see you at Megacon. First round is on me. Hell yeah, bruh. I am so excited. So many cool people that I want to meet face to face are going to be there. I just found out, and what I'm talking about is y'all. Like people that are going to be at Megacon. I know Perry's going to be there. Bueller's going to be there. We've already been chatting about it. I think some other YouTubers are going to be there. It's going to be a fun show. The only celebrity that I was really trying to like make sure I focus in on and get waiting in line to see is Sam Raimi. Very pumped for that. But they just now have Frank Miller added, and Frank Miller, in order to do the Frank Miller thing, you got to pay extra. You got to pay $150, right? And you get in on a panel, and you get a picture with them, and you get one thing signed. And that's totally going to be worth it for me. And that's why we got the Super Chat menus active tonight. $1 to drink some water, $5 for beer cheers, $10 for the Hellboy song, $20 for a shot, $50 to chug a beer, because I need that Frank Miller money, y'all. Anyway. I really do. I cannot. And it's Saturday at like 6 p.m. So that means all day Saturday, I'm going to be like, I got to be like Sam Raimi, Frank Miller. That's my focus on Saturday. We're going to get there Wednesday late, right? So we'll probably be out trying to like grab a drink or dinner or something on Wednesday night. We're going to be leaving Sunday morning. We're at a Holiday Inn, I think, nearish to the convention center. Renting a minivan, I believe. It's going to be me, Mike the Voice Matthews, Kevin the Artist Stokes, and Robbie Earthtube Bateman, possibly. Could just be 3 of us, could be 4 of us. Who knows? We'll see what happens when it happens. William says, take a shot for the Lakers winning today. I know, man. Bronze out. Lakers. Schroeder's been stepping up, and I have barely been paying attention. Life got chaotic for a while. Then it's been balancing out, and things are really nice, right? And I like the vibe and the flow right now. Things are going well. I hope things are going well for you. But I have been noticing every day. I get it on my phone. You know, I get the notification, so I know if they win or lose. And it's nice to see more of them winning. So that's pretty dope. Why the content and single issues feel less and small. BJ, the way I would address that is I think what you're talking about is why do comic book stories feel so decompressed? The decompression of comic book stories started in the late 90s, mostly, though, cemented itself in the early 2000s. And there's a few reasons for this. Number one, comics were dead. Comics were dead. Comics were over. They were done. It was just the lowest point was like the late 90s, early 2000s. But there was some good stuff creatively that was out there, right? Because the only people that were in the industry really gave a shit, you know? They really cared. And so one of the things that happened was that Warren Ellis and Brian Hitch, along with others like Mark Miller as well, and maybe even Frank Quitely, were bringing in this more widescreen cinematic approach, right? This widescreen cinematic approach to comics. Comics like The Authority, comics like that led into the Ultimates, which led into a ready version of the MC or of Marvel for the MCU, right? And then you had writers like Bendis, and what was happening is people started writing for the trade, and not necessarily that they're writing for the trade. They were, because they're trying to get the graphic novel and trade paperback market. They were trying to get that going and growing, and it took a while for those seeds to really flourish. So that led to people writing for the trade. It also led, most of that was also people looking at some of the comics and realizing that if kids are going to stop reading comics, we need to adult this up. Now, I'm not saying the decompressed storytelling is the way to do that, because Vertigo was successfully telling mainstream, adult, mature stories like Sandman, Preacher, all that kind of stuff, right? And each issue still felt very complete. But then you had writers like Bendis come in, where they started spreading out what would typically be an issue's worth of stuff, say, over the course of like 6, right, issues or so. And so now you had the birth of the story arc. And whereas story arcs used to be a big deal, like, damn, this is a 6-part story. That was a big deal back in the day. And now it's not, because now that's the norm, right? Now it's like crazy when they tell a self-contained story. Now that's why things like Ice Cream Man stand out. But it's also just a change in the aesthetic of the writing, right? So these things aren't necessarily made for kids. They don't need to be overly expository, right? They don't have to be dumbed down. They are still sometimes, but they don't have to be. They can be a little bit more sophisticated. And what I mean by that is with the dialogue, with the characterization, right? Now, I don't think you need to go too far into it with certain superheroes, right? Like, it's always cool to get something like The Boys, or to get something like, Squadron Supreme, or like Earth 2 by Quietly and Morrison. It's cool to get these kind of alternate takes on superheroes, but we don't always have to be edgy, and that's not what I mean by real, right? And grounded and character-based. So a lot of the rise of the sophistication of the idea of what sophistication should be in comic books, with more realistic dialogue, more flowy things, and more spread out story, that way you have pacing and beats better, that became something that really did revolutionize the comic book industry, and it worked. And then that's the model that everybody copies now, and not everybody's good at that. That being said, you still got comics out there that are dense, that are packed, but for the most part, those feel overly wordy. One of the most common complaints I get at the shop and here on YouTube is that a book was too wordy, was too boring, right? Like, sometimes we read these early books. We're going to be talking about Extinction Agenda tonight on Marvel in the 90s, right? And that leads to an idea that sometimes you read that and there's a way to make it flow, and it's not the verbosity, right, that makes something boring or too wordy. It's not the amount of words that makes something too wordy, if that makes sense. It's the way it flows. We had that conversation with Dan Waters. We keep talking about it. Oh, by the way, next week, Sunday, noon, Central Time, Rom V here on the channel. Boom, dropped. Rom V here on the channel next Sunday, noon. And we're still doing Rockin Robbie Live. Anyway, so that was a big tangent. So there you go. But that's what I think. Figure Drawing is in the house. What is up? Hey, Fable, what is up, my man? Two Gun Pedro's in the house. Pew, pew. Got some show and tell from Two Gun Pedro. If you saw DHS last night, you've already seen it. But if not, just wait till later. It's pretty dope stuff. Julian, what is up? Gotta love a good pop, pop. Boom. I like that. I see we got some super chats down there. A lot of people saying what's up to each other. Hey, what's up, Peter? How you doing? Made it in time, too. What's the topic? What's up, people? I was just talking about why comics feel so quick nowadays sometimes. Megacon will have 3 Kuberts and a Joe Quesada, yes, and a Jeff Johns, but the Frank Miller is definitely one that I'm really, oh man, I dropped all the way down. Rockin Robbie and PCP is immortal, thank you. Mad respect. Took the weekend off so I can be here live. Station, man, that's awesome. Finally got to watch the monthly comic book show, and damn, I got a lot of trades to get this year. Yeah, we all inspire each other to read more and more. Trade Paper Dad says, just ordered the 20th Century Men trade paperback. Delicious. That thing's just under 300 pages. A lot of meat in that book. I absolutely love it. Cannot wait to do a reread. Cannot wait. All right, we got super chats coming in. We got Not Intended for Human Consumption here. Love you. Drink a shot. We love you, dude. You're a sweet guy. Been a fan for years. Well, thank you so much. This is for you. Not Intended for Human Consumption. Appreciate the support. Got a chunk of ice in there? Screw it. Thank you. I didn't swallow the chunk of ice. Dude, what's the figure in the box behind you? Man, this thing is an action figure from Jen Balance Tarot, which I don't read tarot, but it's a rather sexy woman with rather large assets, right? And this was given to me by Sam Fett, friend of the show. So I proudly display it. Big sexy woman, long legs, luscious bust. It doesn't have a window in the back, so I don't know what it looks like back there. But and then I got my my whole McDonald troop here. My whole McDonald troop. So that's what that is. What is a comic you're looking forward? Which comics are you looking forward on Mars? Do you mean what, like something I'm looking forward to coming up for March? Is that what you're saying? Man, I actually have to look. I haven't actually looked to see what is coming out in March. I'd have to look. Hey, and there's Spilios with the other super chat. So we'll take another shot. That's 2 shots, y'all. There might be a rant tonight. Who knows? We really do appreciate the support, John. I cannot wait to see you at Megacon, bruh. All right, y'all. Let's do it. Let me tell you about this little man I know. His name is Hellboy. He was sent to the earth some long time ago to save and or destroy. Brought to this earth by Rasputin, son of a demon, and I'm not a fool. Had the sex with the demon, but was raised by Professor Broom. Now he fights evil and monsters. Shit. Now he fights with a man who's a fish named Abe. And now he fights when the fire starts up. Pink Quiz and an ectoplasmic mess named Johann. BPRD. We really do appreciate all the support out there. Thank you so much. And remember, the super chat menu is $1 to encourage me to drink some water, $5 for a beer, cheers, $10 for the Hellboy song, $20 I'll do a shot, $50 I'll chug a beer. And I'm not asking anybody to do that. I don't want that. I just want a bunch of shots if anybody wants to know. What's up? Anyway, moving on. Moving along. Brother Joe is in the house. What is up, my man? How you doing? Hey, we talked about your people last night. Clowns. Somebody watch Brother Joe in case he starts like turning into a clown demon, a cloyne, or whatever. Taki is in the house. What is up? Steph is in the house. Station, Steph. Boom. Hey, we got Mark from Geeks Unleashed. How you doing, brother? Go to bed. What's wrong with you? Jeezy Cheesy, what is up? Goddamn, Rom V on PCP. I know, right? What's it going to be like seeing Ron V on PCP? We had him on about 2 years ago. 2 years ago, right? But he's got an upcoming project, The Vigil, he wants to talk about. I got to get that link actually going. So, yeah, Ron V next week here on Pop Culture Philosophers on Sunday at noon Central Time. Robbie, don't spill your drink on your keyboard tonight. Whatever will you do? Thank you, Brother Joe. I'm glad you remember that time I spilt beer all over. I spilt it on the mixer. I had a nice mixer. Ruined the mixer. Now I got this little tiny one that only holds one microphone. I need to get a better one, I guess. Hey, Sal's in the house. What is up? Damn, Charlie Cox charging $100 for his signature. When did he win an Oscar to earn it? I'll tell you what, if you think he's crazy, look at Hayden Christensen's autograph fee. Sam Raimi's a must for me. Frank Miller's a must. I hope on payday they're not out of tickets, because I'm going to buy a ticket straight up. Like, straight the F up. I got to meet Frank Miller. He's like one of the living legends, right? Like, we've lost Jack Kirby. We lost Jack Kirby before I was able to really, truly appreciate him. We've lost Stan. We've lost Ditko. We lose these Bernie Wrights and Neil Adams, George Perez. We're losing these icons, these legends. And I'm not saying Frank Miller's near death. I'm not saying that at all. And I wish no ill will to Frank Miller, because I'm really, really excited for the new Sin City. And Ronin Book 2 is amazing. That being said, I got to take this chance to meet Frank Miller. This dude has impacted my life so much with his work. He's one of the absolute best in comics history, in my opinion. I cannot wait. I got to be able to meet Frank Miller. I've got to. Rockin Robbie and Frank Miller at Megacon. This is the reason. Like, I kept saying, I hope they announce Frank Miller. I hope they announce Frank Miller. Frank Miller was there last year. Frank Miller was there the year or something like that. Yeah, Frank Miller's going to be there, and I'm so freaking pumped. You get one thing signed. And it's going to be a Daredevil 181. My Daredevil 181, one of my favorite single-issue comics of all time. And I've already gotten it signed by Klaus Janson. So yeah, gonna get Frank to sign that one, because I know a lot of people would get his Batman stuff signed. A lot of people may get some other stuff. I'm a big fan of, so it's so hard to choose one. But that is one of my single favorite issues. So I definitely got to go with that one. When am I writing a comic? I'm writing comic right now as we speak. I'm working on a project with a dear friend of mine who is a professional comic book artist, and he's doing most of the work because we're coming up with the story together. And right now, what we've laid out, he's breaking down some pages right now. So it's in the works. It's in the works, Ouroboros. Oh yeah, that's some big spikes on her boots. Oh damn, I didn't even notice them spikes. I can comb my hair and beard with that shit. That's awesome. Boom boom, let it all hang out, man. I love me some boom boom. Pop pop boom boom. Mark says, computers are shit. I'm 3 hours into a complete reboot of mine. Honestly, want to go to bed ages ago. Oh, man, that sucks, Will. That sucks, Mark. Glad we're here. Glad we're here for you. William says, got a stack of books I got to read. Robbie, get away where we can send bigger money without YouTube taking 30%. Yeah, you can. I can send you my PayPal information. I can send you my PayPal information if you just reach out to us on a social. Facebook's the wrong way to go. Maybe Instagram might be the best. I don't know. I get all kinds of things sometimes. Look at me. I'm so busy. No, I'm not doing that. I get a lot of like messages that I never even notice because they go in these other folders, but Instagram seems to be good at like letting me know when I have like a request. I don't know, man. Whatever. I have a PayPal. Robbie, let me get your spec on SIKTC. Something is killing the children. What do you mean, what's my spec? I'll tell you what. I have every issue 1 through 25, and I am really thinking about selling them right now, right? Because they just recently got the news that it is going ahead. They got some showrunners attached to it. It's moving. There's been movement. So now there's movement back on Something is Killing the Children. I don't spec, but Something is Killing the Children. I stopped buying it for my collection at issue 25. I have 1 through 25, multiple versions of 1, because I got all the different printings. Well, not all of them, but I got some of the printings. Like I got the foil one. I think it's like $20, big deal. But but I got the Jay Lee cover of #1. I got the regular cover as well. But I've decided I'm going to let that go at the right time. I'm going to let that go at the right time. And I don't think now's the right time. I think the right time would be right as we're building up to the actual show being released. But here's the thing. If you sell Your Something Is Killing the Children's, right as the hype for the show to its actual release date, right? Hit at that peak, boom. Then, let's say, show doesn't do so well, starts dropping. Let's say show does really well. So it's a gamble. It's a gamble. I think right now we still need to hold. Have we ever got to know Hellboy's true parentage? Yes, we have, Lars. 100% we have. You read through all the main thread of the story, which Dark Horse is very conveniently put together in those softcover and hardcover, I believe, Hellboy omnibus editions. They're very small. They're not big omnibuses. I got them, but I traded out my Hellboy trades for those because they put them in story order, which the individual collections never did, but I did keep my individual collection of Seed of Destruction because I got it signed by Mike Mignola when I met him in 2002. Deep sales must be down. Nah, man, sales are good at the Deep. But we got a lot of staff to take care of before I get taken care of. Eddie Von B. Holy crap, I found your show. Well, thank you for being here, Eddie. Hey, and Mark Spears is in the house. Mark Spears is in the house. Mark Spears, who just got cover of the week. Mark Spears is a homie of mine, right? So my my comic shop that I went to when I was in middle school and high school and right after high school was called Comic Corner, right? And it eventually became Rocket City Collectibles when new ownership came in, including Mark. So Mark was one of my comic book clerks. And I used to go into the shop and it was Mark, Richard, and Alex, R.I.P. Alex. And they were so damn funny. And I loved going to the comic shop just to see Mark, Richard, and Alex just be buffoons, talk shit about comics, talk great about comics, tell me what I should read and shit like that. And Mark was already writing and drawing at that time. And then I started working there. And Mark was my boss. He made me manager. And him and this dude, Chris, who owned the shop, eventually made me partner. And so I know Mark Spears. And Mark Spears has, I remember, homie, when your Big Bang issue got published. And we were all so excited for you. And Mark has grown as an artist. He started doing Mark, correct me if I'm wrong, if you're still here, but it seems like you do digital painting, right? And so we started doing a lot of he started doing trading cards for a long time, and you were designing statues, if I remember right. And then you started doing those sketch cards, and then you started doing horror magazine covers with this new style. And for a while there, he was doing Alabama and Auburn paintings because those sell like crazy here. And Mark's art just kept improving and improving. And I remember one time Chris messaging me, but he's like, "You see Mark's recent work? It's levels above." And he won a Rondo Award for his Monster Magazine stuff, and then he did the Monsters trading card lines. I think he got 2 series of that out or something. And then he did work for the Spirit Halloween movie. He did the movie poster, and he did some of the designs on the characters, and I think the box art for the stuff. And I haven't seen the movie yet. I want to, but it's not Halloween time right now, so I'll probably watch it around Halloween time. Christopher Lloyd's in that movie. I'm excited to see it. But then he got the attention of Todd McFarlane. And all 4 of the Spawn titles this month have a Mark Spears cover for cover A, including the one that just came out, King Spawn number 20, and it was dope as shit. So Mark has given $1 as super chat, encouraging me to drink some water. I will, as soon as we get back from break, I'll bring the water. Water alert. Mark, I appreciate the encouragement, and bro, just keep on going, man. I love you, man. Empire Comics is in the house. I can't let you drink alone, my man. I'm breaking my old bottle of Jack Daniel's honey whiskey. Hell yeah, bruh. Thank you. Raphael says, how did you manage to get Rom V on the show? I can't wait for that. Well, I know Rom. I've done 2 shows with Rom that I remember. So we had Rom on the channel, right? And I got into Rom V's work for the first time, really, when These Savage Shores came out. And at that time, Vault was just making a lot of waves. And White Noise was a lot of the reason why they were making so many waves. And I started, like, chatting those dudes, man. I started chatting them up on Twitter and this and that. And they started, I think, were watching my videos. Alex Packnadell, Dan Waters, Ryan O'Sullivan, Rom V. And I've been a supporter of their works for years, man. And they appreciate that. They know that. And when I reached out to Rom initially and said, hey, would you like to come on the channel? He did. We had a great conversation. I was on a show with him, and David Boer was there, and was Eric Burnham there as well, but it was on Manny's channel. So we've had a conversation there. I love Rom. Rom's super cool dude, and he reached out and said he's got a new book coming out, and it's been a while, and he wanted to know if we wanted to have another chat, and I said, hell yeah. So we booked it. And there's more chats on the way. But yeah, you know, Rom V, friend of the show. Beautiful hair. That was the first question I asked him when we met face to face, when we went live. I asked him about his hair. Ouroboros says, Frank Miller is on the Mount Rushmore of comic legends for sure. Yep, R.I.P. Tim Sale for sure. Yep, Neil Adams, big loss. Two Gun Pedro, what are you thinking about getting signed by Frank Miller? Well, I answered that already, didn't I? That's what happens when I'm behind on the chat. Love that Castle Grayskull. That was my white whale holy grail toy when I was a kid. Yeah, I never had it when I was a kid. I had a Snake Mountain. My Snake Mountain's right there. But now, yeah, I got this. It's not fully complete yet. I had to get some reproed like decals and shit, and I haven't necessarily put them all in there. Where are those? I think I know where they're at. What shelf and which closet? I think I know. And I have to get like a new rope, like a new thread to put in there for the elevator. But yes, yeah, vintage Motu is my jam, and I'm very excited because Mike, my toy guru, has got a line on some really nice pieces for me that I plan on getting at some point after Megacon, because Megacon is the focus right now. And yes, there's a Faker, Beastman. I still don't have Beastman. Faker, Beastman, and Stratos, which I don't have, and I need those to basically complete. Well, I don't need the Faker, but I need the Beastman and the Stratos to complete, like, Wave 1 and 2, I think. I've been trying to be very conscious and intentional about what toys I'm buying, and even what comics I've been buying, because I got to the point where I was buying so much to try to get into things, and I just haven't had the time to get into them, so I got to slow up on a lot of stuff. But, you know how it is. We still love to buy stuff, right? But refocusing in on vintage Motu, because I got so goddamn tempted. I was watching these YouTube videos from Michael Mercy, I think, and I've seen some of his videos before, but I started watching these videos where he goes year by year into G.I. Joe, like what came out in 82, 83, 84, 85, like year by year. And when I hit 87 in particular, it was like, I remembered all of those, and I just wanted them. And then Mike's like, you don't want to do that, bruh. Like, if you do that, like, for instance, if you want all of these figures, this is how much it's going to cost you. And I was like, dude, I don't want to get in G.I. Joe. That's way too much. But it's encouraging me to refocus into just Motu vintage for a while. And Turtles. I pick up Turtles when I can. I don't mind. Here's the other thing, not intended for human consumption. I don't mind. I know YouTube takes a cut. I don't mind it because when we actually have like one of these shows where we got some good super chats coming in, it seems like it like triggers something in our algorithm. And like we had a couple of these where we were doing the super chat menu, and we had a Rockin Robbie live that's at 5.5 thousand views. That's not a lot. It's nowhere near our Cobra numbers. What are Cobra's numbers right now? So our movie review for Sylvester Stallone's Cobra it might be our highest viewed video right now. I gotta look this up. I gotta look this up real quick. Because we got like 52K on our Joker video that we did years ago. But where is Cobra at? We're gonna find out. Show me the views. What are you doing? Here we go. 42,000 views, 602. 42,000 views on our Cobra movie review. That's wild to me. Out of all of our movies that we've ever talked about here, Cobra. Robbie, you have to practice what you're going to say to Miller. When I met Alex Kingston, I went silent, if you can believe. When I first met Jason David Frank, I went silent. I've gone silent too. I do got to think about what I'm going to say to Frank Miller, because it's not going to be, it's not going to like resonate with him. You know, I'm just going to say, I think I'm just going to tell him, like, when I met Klaus Janson, I was like, I want you to know how impactful your work is to me, and you were the creator. And I practiced this. I thought about what I was going to tell him, and I was like, you are one of my favorite artists because you were the one who taught me about texture and how important texture is in comics and this and that. And I was going into like the technical nitty gritty. Man, artists love it when you do that because they don't typically get that. You know, they're typically like, yeah, your Daredevil's sexy. Your Elektra's hot. I guess. I don't know. But I'm like telling them, like, dude, screen tone, your fucking texture, like you're always moving it. You're always doing it. You're one of my favorite inkers. And just, yeah, what a legend, Klaus Janson. But thank you, OUG. You're 100% right. Yeah, Kevin O'Neill was a big loss for sure. I love League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Never read Martial Law all the way through, though. I got the Martial Law versus Pinhead stuff. I think he did that. I've met Chuck Dixon. I met Chuck Dixon back in like 2002 in Chicago. I got some like random Birds of Prey signed by him. Mark says, I am Robbie's manager and I will take all of his money in cash, please. I mean, I think I'm Mark's manager and I'll take all your money in cash, bro. Hey, Mark, you still got any of them boxes of those cards for sale? I never got any. I want some. I would get a Carrie Kelly figure for Miller to sign. That's actually really cool. Robbie, the last time I got some Boom Boom was at the strip club. Okay. Hey, and we got a super chat from Mark Spears, $50. We're going to have to chug a beer. Let me tell you about this little man I know. His name is Hellboy. He was sent to the earth some long time ago to save it or destroy. Brought to this earth by Rasputin, son of a demon and a nana who had sex with the demon, but was raised by Professor Broom. Bit came out. Thank you, Mark. What y'all don't know is that Mark's going to be sending me a message being like, so I gave you that $50, right? So I need you to buy as many copies of my covers as possible. Excuse me. And also, Spawn is only $2.99. Cardstock cover, still one of the best values in comics. Excuse me. Actually, that was Mark's. He was paying his invoice that I sent him for me saying nice things about his work. Let's go back up and see. Okay, I'm starting to feel it a little bit. What do you guys budget for comic purchases monthly? William wants to know. Me personally, I don't budget, but I limit my pull list. I know I read a lot of comics, but it's because I work at a shop. I get to do that. I don't buy as many comics as a lot of people would think. But I do buy like graphic novels, and I like buying like collections of older stuff, and I got a Love and Rocket set that I still got to pay for. So that's coming up too. But yeah, I don't have a budget, but I have a spending budget, and actually budgeting my money is something that I've just started recently doing. Fully again. I don't know. I could be better at that. Hamburger Basket is in the house. What is up? Those were the golden days, Spears. You need to know how influential you guys were on me as a comic book fan. And that's why I love my job, is because I wanted to do that. I wanted to be that for other people. And that's why we do what we do here at PCP, and why I do what I do at the Deep. See, look, Fable's like, yeah, that King Spawn cover's badass. White Noise, great movie. Michael Keaton, look at those eyebrows. OUG says, Rom V is one of my favorites right now. I'm jealous. Rom is a dream. We need Rom to get back on Radio Apocalypse. I agree. No, I haven't had Dennis Culver on. Isn't he doing Doom Patrol? You know, there was a time where I was going ham on live streams, but I can't really necessarily do that anymore. It was having some negative effects. And I've got to, if you've noticed, I'm sure you've noticed, but we're doing way less creator interviews and stuff. But we're trying to commit to what we're really, really committed to. And there's still things I want to do, like other creator interviews. Things will pop up. By the way, I can't believe I forgot to mention this so far. Big news tomorrow. Big PCP-related news tomorrow that I wish I could tell you now. Big PCP news this week. I do believe tomorrow is the day that we get to talk about it. And very excited, so watch this space, y'all. Russell says, if I can ask, how old are you? Looking at all this cool old school stuff has me nostalgic. I'm 37, by the way. 37 in a row? I am 41. I do not mind people asking me, because usually when I tell people how old I am, they're like, no way. You're at least 38. But no, I'm 41. And I started reading comics in 1986. Cobra. Now, there is a Serpentor that Mike's got held back from me, that he's had held back from me for a while. He's been very gracious with letting me hold it for so long. I need to actually get that. Cobra just went on HBO Max. Nice. I don't know, Mark. Mark McGrath, by the way, every morning, there's a Halo. I don't know why Cobra. I don't know. Cobra, Spawn, Small Soldiers, Shogun Assassin, Long Kiss Goodnight. Those are some of our biggest ones. Twitch is in the house. What's up, Twitch? Your mystery box on the way. Anytime I hear someone mention that Love and Rockets book, I get the song So Alive in my head. Mark's like, yep, I got an invoice right after. That beer went down really easy. I'm worried. Kelvin says, what happened to the hat? Twitch says, I heard he lost his hat during a cross-dimensional event where he and his other dimensional self had to fight a horde of mutated hats. Now he can never trust a hat again. Or I could be Robbie from another dimension. Maybe there's a Mandela effect. Maybe if you look at some older videos, you'll see me without a hat. Wouldn't that be weird? Has the past changed? Is this real? Russell says, haha, low-key has a decent singing voice. Thank you. I have beautiful, luxurious hair, and I was encouraged to show it off a little bit more. That's what happened. Mark says he's 32. We'll believe that. Is that on your bio, your official bio? If I go to Image Comics, is that what it says? Mark says, Love and Rockets is beyond fantastic. Loved it since watching Comic Book Confidential. All I've read so far is the first issue, and I did love it, but that was an undertaking. I remember it was a Sunday. I was like, I'm going to sit down and read the first issue of Love and Rockets today, because that hardcover came out, right? And it's at the deep still. It's held for me. But I just grabbed the first book out of it. I grabbed it, and I was like, I'm going to read issue 1. And that took an afternoon. That took a whole afternoon, y'all. A whole afternoon. It was worth it, though. No, I don't know what Rich and Kelsey even is. Yeah, Jaime is my favorite, by the way, out of those, like, what is it? The I can't. The Hernandez brothers. I was trying to figure out the way to say it in Spanish, but I don't know Spanish. BJ says, I'm 35 and started reading comics in 2005. Lars says, I bought Spawn 8 through 70 when it came out, and Curse Spawn 1 through 20. I might actually want to sell those if somebody here in my country would find it interesting. The new series might have become better. Spawn is what Spawn is, you know? Mark says, who is the artist you are working on with your comic, or is it confidential? Oh, bruh, Mark, it's Kevin. It's Kevin. Me and Kevin Stokes are... I'll tell you about it when I see you. I'll see you at the expo for sure, and I'll see you at the Deep. Yeah. But yeah, it's Kevin. He's really excited. He's doing some good work. It's almost like... All I say right now is this. It's me and Kevin pretending like we're making an image book in like 1993 is the idea. Oh yeah, Kevin is awesome, and he's just gotten better and better, right? Oh my goodness, his work is phenomenal. And right now he's at a point where he just wants to do some creator-owned stuff. So he's got a project he's working on with me, and he's got another project, and we're going to have a lot of good times down in Megacon. Because when we were at Memphis Expo, and this year's Memphis Expo is insane. Glenn Fabry, Garth Ennis, Brian Polito, Christopher Priest, Alan Davis, Mark Spears. Did you know that Alan Davis is going to be in Memphis in September? Holy cow, bruh. You should go with us, man. That would be super fun. That'd be super fun. Brothers equals hermano. Yeah, but it's like, is it like Los Hermanos? I don't know. Yeah, and Kevin Eastman's going to be there, friend of the show. No, he's not a friend of the show necessarily because he hasn't been on the show. But I did the panel with Kevin Eastman, Mark, and that was one of the best moments of my life. Was being on stage for an hour with Kevin Eastman. Oh my God. I still get so crazy when I think about it. Hey, Brian is here, the Brianiac. What is up? If it took you an afternoon to read Love and Rockets, think how long it would take me. I like what I've read, but it's wordy. Yeah, and it's dense, but it's worth it. And Jaime's my favorite of, like, between Gilbert and I don't think what's the other one? Is it Mario? I could be wrong on that. It's not Mario. What is it? I can't remember the third one right now. Los Bros Hernandez. That's what they call him. Yeah, it is Mario. Mario, who's the oldest, then Gilbert and Jaime. And Jaime's my... It's just so freaking good, y'all. Was Eastman's wife there? She is Julie Strain. No, Julie Strain passed away, right? His current wife was there. What was her name? Courtney? His current wife was there. She was super cool. She was super, super cool. So far, I've just read some of the Maggie the Mechanic, and it's great. Yeah, it is. It really, really is. Brian says, can't wait to meet Alan Davis. Yeah, I remembered you being a big fan of Alan Davis, Mark. All right, we're about to take a quick break. When we come back, DC Sneak Peek and Marvel in the 90s, where we're going to continue our look at Extinction Agenda. And whatever else you want to talk about, get it in the comments right now. Because when we come back, we're going for it here on Rockin Robbie. Where's the button? Live!
Hey everyone, come check us out at The Experience this Monday, March 6th at 6 p.m. Eastern. It's our usual time. We'll have all your favorites, Dynamite, Marvel, DC, and everyone will be here. Rex, hopefully John, Robbie. I'll come in if I feel like it, and you definitely know Nick will. So no matter what, it'll be a good time. Remember, it's March 6th. It's a Monday, 6 p.m. Eastern, only on The Experience. See you then.
Welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. I'm Rockin Robbie Live!
Hey everybody, welcome back to Rockin Robbie Live here on Pop Culture Philosophers. We have had a great time already. We had Mark Spears in the chat, cover artist for Spawn, King Spawn, Gunslinger Spawn, and The Scorched. That was cool. He's an old friend of mine. We talked a little bit about the upcoming trip to Megacon. Frank Miller's going to be there. I got to get it. And it's going to be freaking awesome. So if you're going to be at Megacon, you will see me there at the end of the month. Very excited for it too. But we've had a great show already, and we haven't even gotten started. We haven't even gotten to the DC sneak peek that is coming up, as well as Marvel in the 90s in the next segment. But I appreciate everybody being here. Be sure to drop a comment. Let us know what you want to chat about, because even though we got this grandiose plan, the show is driven, fueled, if you will, by your questions, your thoughts, your comments, your concerns. Get them in right now. You can get $15 in Whatnot credit at whatnot.com/invite/the Rockin Robbie. That is valid for new accounts. Excuse me. You can save 10% at dynamicforces.com when you enter code Robbie at your cart. You can follow me on Twitter at the Rockin Robbie. You can follow Pop Culture Philosophers on Facebook and on Instagram. And if you're on Facebook, make it official. Join the PCP Army, the official Pop Culture Philosophers Facebook group. You can check out the Pop Culture Philosophers shop at the link in the description. It's really long, but along with Dynamic Forces, me and my buddy Rex, we have curated a selection of stuff that's really awesome. Manny, for instance, bought a really cool Ken Hazer Joker sketch from there. We got a Garbage Pail Kids Mars Attacks Ken Hazer sketch on there. We got this Avengers Ken Hazer 4 connecting covers sketch going on there. We got TMNT exclusive covers, all kinds of cool stuff, specially priced. Also, you can visit BlackBox Comics, blackboxcomics.net, enter PCP10 for 10% off of all of your purchases. And we appreciate the support. If you want to support the channel even further, you can do so with a super chat. We'll get to that in a second. Or at patreon.com/PCP, like these fine PCP patrons right there. As far as super chats, we got the super chat menu active and ready and available. $1 to encourage me to drink some water, $5 for a beer cheers, $10 for the Hellboy song, $20 I'll do a shot, $50 I'll chug a beer. I've already had 2 shots, 3 if you include the one that I did at the beginning, and I chugged a beer. So, if you want to support the channel, let's frickin' do it. Also, we got PCP mystery boxes now available. 10 are available for this week. They are $30. That includes shipping. They'll contain comics. They'll contain trading cards. They'll contain a toy. And they'll contain a piece of original art from yours truly. Email us at popculturephilosophers@gmail.com if you are interested. Tomorrow night on PCP Movie Night, March Madness continues with Tenebrae by Dario Argento. And then The Black Cat by Lucio Fulci. That's right, it's an Italian director spotlight this week on March Madness. A lot of Italian stuff, or Italian-inspired stuff on March Madness this year. But before our show tomorrow, check out Scarpad Sci-Fi Sojourns as he talks about the new Brandon Cronenberg film, Infinity Pool. And if you missed the official announcement, March Madness. Last night we talked about Clown. Tomorrow night, Tenebrae. Saturday, The Black Cat. And then continuing on with Dressed to Kill. Triangle. Don't Torture a Duckling. American Psycho. And Itchy the Killer. We now pause for station identification. All right, let's take a look at the chat, see what everybody's saying. Yeah, Julie Strain passed away in 2021. Mark Spears is out, bruh. Thank you for joining us. Eddie's in the house. Station Robbie, sorry if you've already answered this, but when you talk to Rom V, you got to ask him about Radio Apocalypse. Thanks for doing what you do. What I'm going to do about Radio Apocalypse is I'm going to ask him before I go live. That way I know what the deal is, and if it's something we can talk about on air, we'll talk about it, and if not, I'll just kind of let you guys know subtly. Brian says, yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to talking to Rom again. I expect to be less nervous this time. I had to go on a hike after the last one. Yeah, I was so nervous with Rom V that first time that this time's going to be way easier. Way easier. Twitch says, if you could create an ongoing comic series based on any film, video game, or book, what would it be? No actual comic book characters. To which Sal said, Harry Potter would be a no-brainer for DC. I'm surprised they haven't done that yet. For me, they've done this before, but I don't think they did a good job. But I'd like somebody to do a good job with Buckaroo Banzai. How about that? I'll go Buckaroo Banzai. I'd like to see somebody do a great job with that one. Figure Drawing says, Robbie's chat is one of the coolest on YouTube. Such a lack of dumb drama. Super refreshing. Well, thank you for that. That is all because of you, PCP Army. Y'all are the best with this community that we have built around this channel. Y'all are the best. Y'all are what makes PCP. So I got to say thank you, and that means station, pop, pop, boom. Y'all are the best. Thank you so much. Brian says, Frank Miller, dang, I'm jealous. Yeah, you should be, Brian. You should be going with us. You should be jealous. You should be meeting Frank Miller with me. Two Gun says, Robbie, you take your water chaser? Nah. No, I haven't. I owe that to Mark. I even wrote down water. Forgot to grab water. I'll do that next break. I'll do it next break. No super chats are coming through right now, so we're cool, right? What are your thoughts on the new Doom Patrol, Robbie? Culver wants to make them a pillar in the DCU. Ouroboros, I've actually read the first issue of Doom Patrol already. I read it on FOC. And I liked what I saw. So I'm excited for it. Chris Burnham on the artwork is the biggest factor, but Dennis Culver is able to, in that first issue, he embraces the strangeness of it, and he makes it not feel too packed in, right? You know, I'm really glad that Rom reached out because I haven't been super kind to his Carnage or Venom work lately. And Carnage I'm coming around on for sure. And Venom I'm still just a little on the fence with. Yeah, I'm feeling it, Steph. We're having fun tonight. I got bits to do. Station, and I thought the same thing with William. William, but Harry Potter is undeniably bigger. What did William say? DC did a Harry Potter character with the Books of Magic. Yeah, absolutely. I popped up in my YouTube feed today, and I saw somebody got like 90K views on a video saying that DC did Harry Potter first with Tim Hunter. Yeah, I've been saying that since the early 2000s. I should have made a video about it, apparently. I almost grabbed the container of the shots to take a sip of. That would have been a bad idea. Kid Cloud Kicker in the house. Are you driving or flying to Orlando? We are driving. It's going to be a long drive, like 10 to 11 hours probably. Knowing us, we're probably going to be on the road 12 hours. It's going to be fun. We're going to get there late Wednesday. We're going to get to the hotel. And then I am going to be like, let's go to get some food and a drink. Because that's what I like doing at the cons. I like getting food and drinks after the cons or before the cons. I like mingling. I like hanging out. Joshua Williamson's going to be there. He's been on the show. And I'm excited to chat with him. Talk to him about Superman and Green Arrow coming up. I miss Donnie Cates, but I don't know what's going on with him. Donnie is scheduled to be at the Megacon. Donnie, Ryan Stegman, and Ryan Otley are all, I'm Cassie, are all, Mark Spears made me chug a beer. Just so y'all know. If you're new, if you're just joining us, cover artist for Spawn, Mark Spears, just made me chug a beer. What was I even talking about? What are we, man, is this show off the rails tonight? We shall see. Hey, Bobby's in the house. What is up, Bobby? How you doing? Lars says, I would say that Titan Books have done a great job with their Blade Runner franchise. Hell yeah. We were talking about Harry Potter and Books of Magic. Yeah. So I think it would have at one point been a no-brainer for DC to do a Harry Potter book outside of the one they did before, Tim Hunter, Books of Magic. The Neil Gaiman created Harry Potter, basically. I mean, honestly, let's be real, right? We all, like, I actually take for, like, a lot of people have been into comics for, like, the last few years, right? Maybe they don't know that. I don't even think about stuff like that sometimes. But, that being said, I think it's very much a difficult decision for DC right now whether or not they want to do a Harry Potter book, because the Harry Potter franchise, the Wizarding World, whatever they want to call it, is a lucrative franchise. And that's problematic for a lot of people because of certain statements J.K. Rowling has made in regards particularly to the trans community. Now, that being said, I tend to take the idea of separating the art from the artist, okay? I understand, though, how much of a conflict could arise if you staunchly disagree with her on certain things, especially regarding the trans community. And I can see how that would be a conflict, right? And like, I get it. I feel the same way when I think of films I love, like Rosemary's Baby or Chinatown or The Ninth Gate, that are directed by Roman Polanski, who did some terrible things that are not cool at all, got away with it for a long time. Does that diminish the art? That's an intense conversation. And maybe that's a conversation we need to have here on the channel. But not on a night when the Super Chat menus are active. By the way, Super Chat menu is active. $1 to encourage me to drink some water. $5 for a beer cheers. $10 Hellboy song. $20 for a shot. $50 I'll chug a beer. But, so tonight's not the night to really unpack this. But me personally, I will say, I do separate art from artist because I think art stands on its own, and once the art has been created, it kind of becomes its own once it's released out there, and the artist is no longer really connected to it in a way, right? Not saying you can't have artists that you love and adore. Like, not saying you can't spend $150 to meet Frank Miller. Hopefully tickets still available when I get paid at the end of the week. That being said, I do want everybody to know very clearly that I stand wholeheartedly with the trans community. I know people who are transgender. I love the idea of self-actualization. And I don't know what it's like to feel like I'm in the wrong body. So I don't try to make judgments or statements about that because I don't, that's not my experience. But I think that the trans community is a bold, brave, and beautiful community. And I guess I just want people to know I separate art from artist. I don't agree with a lot of the stuff J.K. Rowling has said about the trans community. Because me personally, I stand with the trans community and their acceptance. Like I said, a very brave, bold, and beautiful. Man, I'm not trying to make a reference to the soap opera, but a very brave and beautiful community. So let's take a station identification for the trans community right now. All right. Let's look at the chat and see what happens. Donnie Cates at a con. Yeah, he's scheduled for Megacon. He's scheduled. Neil Gaiman has said that he was not the first to come up with the boy magician, never accused Rowling of plagiarism. I get it. A boy magician. I get it. But let's be honest. You look at Tim Hunter, especially in those 90s comics for Books of Magic. That's Harry Potter. That's Harry Potter. That's Harry Potter. I mean, the look and everything. And I don't know. Hey, what's up, Chocos? I don't know if J.K. Rowling like saw that, or whoever developed the look of the character saw that. But like, when I first saw Harry Potter, I was like, this is Books of Magic. I mean, it's different. Like, there's a lot more embellished there. I'm a big fan of Harry Potter. I love the books. I love the movies. I love Harry Potter. Yeah, Donnie Cates. I'm excited to meet him. I know what I'm going to say to Donnie if he's there. And I meet him. I'm going to go, hey, Donnie. Several years ago on Twitter, I asked you what your favorite season of Buffy was. You said season 6. We had a conversation about that because it's my favorite season of Buffy. I know you don't remember that, but bruh, you're awesome. That is totally the best season of Buffy. I want to talk to him about Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And then be like, hey, if you ever want to get on the show, just let me know. Maybe Donnie Cates wants to become a friend of the show. I just hope he doesn't see my recent reviews of his Hulk work. What about The Matrix? Would I like to see The Matrix continue in comic book form? Only if the Wachowskis were involved and only if Jeff Darrow did covers. What's the difference between Catwoman and Detective Comics from Ron V? Catwoman was a little bit more heist-driven, a little bit more light in approach, but it still had heavy things going on. Detective Comics, structurally, is wow. There is some very intense complexity going on in the structure that Ron V is doing on Detective Comics. One of the things I definitely want to talk to him about next week when he's on the channel. Next Sunday, 12 p.m. Central Time. And don't forget about the time change, y'all. Evil Face Bad is in the house. Just pre-ordered the new Turtles Yojimbo book coming. I can't wait for this book. How about you, Robbie? I cannot wait for it. Stan Sakai doing Usagi meets the Turtles again throughout dimensions, other dimensions, Elsewhere, right? Pumped for it. I got to meet Stan Sakai in 2019. He did a little Usagi sketch for me in my Fantagraphics Usagi book 1. Not the hardcover. I didn't have the hardcovers yet. So I'd love to meet Stan again. Sergio Aragonis was there too, and so was Mark Evanier, and I did not wait in line for them, and I should have waited in line for Sergio for sure. All right, here's the conversations, the Harry Potter comments. All right. OUG says, yeah, I am completely anti-Wizarding World Station. I respect that. Figure Drawing says, Rowling is expletive, and yes, intense convo. Fable says, me, Nick, and actual Dracula spoke about it on the show. I'll have to check that on the rewind. I haven't watched that one yet, bro. Evil Face Bad says, I'm loving Hogwarts to death. The game is fire. Missing Link says, well said. Twitch says, it's hard to separate the artist from the art when the money for partaking actively funds the problematic artist, and they actively view it as support for their views. Yeah, it's true. I get that. I get that, man. That's an intense conversation that I'm not ready to have fully at this point. But, you know, I guess what I said sounded like it was, maybe what I said sounds to some people contradictory, but to me, I don't feel like it's contradictory because I feel, first of all, I have a get out of Paradox free card in my pocket. So I need to actually make one of those up so I can actually use it sometimes. I can have two conflicting beliefs, and I'm okay with that. Other people, not, right? It provides a dissonance, right? And I get that. And we all need to do what we feel. That being said, I just wanted to say, I tried to separate art from artists because then I couldn't listen to Led Zeppelin. I don't think I could really be a Kiss fan. And I don't know. That's a crazy thing to, we got to have that conversation. Yeah, we got to have that conversation. Kit Cloud Kicker says, I didn't know YouTube took part of the super chat. Yeah, that's why they let us do them. They take 30%, but no worries about it. It also lets them know that we're important. We're making them money. That's always good. Two Gun Pedro says, we just had 69 people in the chat. Touch that thumbs up and make Robbie feel good. Pew pew. We got 50 likes. Can we get it to 69, please? I'll do a shot if we get to 69 likes, everybody. OUG says, it's a very intense conversation. The art has problems too, and Rowling makes money off of everything. I get it. Why does Frank Miller need the money? I don't know why Frank Miller needs the money, Lars. But he's worth so much more to me and as far as influence into art. All right, we're just going to speed through some of these. I'm not going to comment necessarily on every comment, but I respect all views, and it's a nuanced conversation that I don't want to have 3 shots in and a chugged beer in. But Twitch says, it just sucks because Harry Potter is a great creation. I just wish it wasn't tied so inextricably to such completely abhorrent person. OUG says, you buy an unauthorized or an authorized item of Harry Potter and she makes money. She is part holder of the licensing rights for subsidiary rights. She does make money. What's up, Nick? Station, you joined us in a very light and breezy section of Rockin Robbie Live. Sal says, I'm pretty sure DC would make the comic all-inclusive to separate it from JKR. But she still make money off of it. That's the point, right? Brave and the Bold. You're right, Bobby. Interfacer, what is up? Treat others the way you would like to be treated. I agree wholeheartedly. That being said, can I just say how much I think the Tennessee shit they're trying to do with drag queens is complete bullshit, by the way? Since we're on this kind of subject. Just going to say that. Lars says, Rowling has a right to her opinions even though they are wrong. Evil Face Bad says, imagine I cared about J.K. Rowling that much to stop me from playing a video game. She don't pay my rent. Hey, like RuPaul says, if they ain't paying your bills, pay them bitches no mind. Mark says, she had the idea in 1990 while waiting on a train. Same year, Books of Magic came out. Can they remake Matrix 4? Can we just forget Matrix 4 happened? OUG is keeping her mouth closed. Kate's needs to finish Redneck. Oh my goodness, I forgot about Redneck already. It's like 2 issues left for a year now. Man, yeah. I mean, I'm not trying to get in Donnie Cates' business, but something's been going on. Nick says, Detective Comics for sure has a ROM vibe and feel. It's amazing how they were able to sync their creative minds so the story and art blend so well. I agree. Oh, I would love a Gru Omnibus. I would rather have like nice, thick, complete trade paperback collections. Come on, Dark Horse. Let's do it. You'll make some money. I'll promote it. Ronald is in the house. Station. Ronald, I think about you all the time. I got the PCP. Awesome thing that you made for us. Got made for us right there. I need to hang it up right there in the background. Daylight savings time is next weekend. So when you're planning for the Rom V show next weekend at noon Central, remember, we're going to be in Central Daylight time. It is next week, right? I got to remind Rom about that. Nick says, I just embraced the hypocrisy within. I enjoy a lot of work from people who say all kinds of whack shit. Oh, OUG, I'm not. So what they're doing is they're trying to basically ban drag queen performances in public where there might be children because we got to worry about the children. And so like, you know, like there's like drag queen readings in schools, but also like that means that they like pride events in the public park where kids could be, they would like not be allowed. Like that's some bullshit. Drag queens are to me, some of the highest level of live performance art. And if anybody needed to know, I'm a huge fan of drag queens. Chat is on fire tonight, I agree. Yeah, Lars says, what is your problem with Led Zeppelin? And then OUG says, yeah, Lars, Jimmy Page kept a 14-year-old girl in a hotel room for relations. Yeah. It's all kinds of deplorable shit that artists do. Kanye's another example. His music, especially early on, was brilliant. I believe it. I agree. And much of it uplifting. I have a really hard time listening to it now. I don't have a hard time listening to the songs that mean something to me. Because as I was saying, once it leaves the artist, it becomes mine. Right? That art is mine now. I have ownership of it. That's my art. It's no longer yours. I appreciate that you made it, but it's mine now. It's mine to interpret however I feel. It's mine to allow whatever inspiration I get from it into my life. That's how I kind of feel about art. Once you make it, it's out there in the world. Let it go. There you go. But yeah, Kanye, I get you. Oscars are next week. Well, who cares about those? Everything, Everywhere, All at Once is going to win Best Picture, y'all. Michelle Yeoh is going to win Best Actress. Empire says, I'm with you 1,000%, Robbie. Well, thank you for that. Do you remember when Doomsday slammed Blue Beetle's head in a car door in 1993? Did that happen? I got to reread The Death of Superman more closely, because how would Ted Kord survive that, bruh? What I remember specifically about the Justice League is that Booster Gold got his costume ripped, and that's where he got all of his powers. And it was this whole goddamn thing where, how's he gonna, he's done. He's done. And he had this like fucking power suit that he got. I thought it was so cool. It's so embarrassing that I thought that was so cool. I'm anti-censorship as well, but is censorship what we're talking about? I don't think so. But I am 100% against censorship. 100% for sure. Oh, I see you, Billy. I mean, there's no way that Blue Beetle survives getting his head smashed in by a car door from Doomsday. Ted Kord should have been dead in 1993, y'all. Or was it 92? When was the death? It was November 92, right? He just broke Blue Beetle's eye shields. All right. Speaking of DC, DC's got comics this week. They even had some comics last week that I missed. It's time for your DC sneak peek. That's right. So last week I missed Action Comics because I grabbed the second print of 1051. So 1052, I really liked this comic for the most part. So the main story by Philip Kennedy Johnson and I think Rafa Sandoval. Yes, freaking awesome. This is what I want from Action Comics. I want a big deal Superman villain fighting Superman in a big deal way. That's what I want. This Metallo story, which was built up for a while, is freaking awesome. I loved the Philip Kennedy Johnson and Sandoval story here. Then the Dan Jurgens, Lee Weeks, going back to the Lois and Clark, Jonathan is a kid. Going back to that, loved that story as well. Let me find some art from it. Come on. First of all, I love Lee Weeks. Oh, man. Anyway, I really, really like this story, too. Now, the final story, which is by Leah Williams and Marguerite Bennett, which is the Power Girl has telepathy now, so she's a superhero counselor. That's stupid. I'm sorry. That's just stupid. All right. Finally read the final issue of Human Target. Did not let me down. Oh, my God. Tom King sticks a landing. Tom King sticks a landing. Why? Because of the artist Greg Smallwood. And Ice, oh my goodness, I have such a comic book crush on Ice now. Such a comic book crush on Ice now. I loved the finale of Human Target. I thought that was great. Reading those two books does not change my pick of the week. So I feel good about that. So on with the books that are coming out this Tuesday from DC that I read. We got Batman and the Joker, The Deadly Duo, issue number 5. I liked it. It's stiff when it comes to the story, but it is exhilarating when it comes to the art. I still, though, as much as I really do appreciate what Arif Prianto is doing for the colors, I really want to see this in black and white, because when we get those black and white pages, man, it's freaking awesome. And there's a new character introduced here, even though it's DC Black Label, not tied into continuity. I did like the story. It plodded along, but the art was good enough for me. It's Mark Silvestri. Come on, y'all. Static Season 2, Shadows of Dakota, number 2. First of all the DC $3.99 books this week are really poor quality. Look at that. Look at that. Look at how it bends compared to this one. Let's do the test again. So the cover's falling there, but look at the difference. This is bullshit, y'all. This is some bullshit that we're getting from DC. And it don't even have a good smell to it, right? So anyway, that being said, paper quality is down on DC this week. Look at that. Comic books should not do that, right? Comic books should do this. Not this. That's piss poor quality from DC right there, y'all. Make it known. Thrash them on social medias. We need better paper quality if we're paying $4 for this. That being said, the $5 and up ones are totally fine. Also, story-wise, it's kind of all over the place. I was really impressed with issue number 1. I was impressed with issue number 1 of season 1, and then I kind of fell out of it after issue 2. I kind of feel the same thing here. There's some interesting stuff going on with the artwork, but it's not really... It just kind of gets boring and dull in certain spots. So it's just not really super enticing me, but it's got some good art. So I don't know. Maybe we'll see what happens with issue 3 if I care to read it. I don't know. We'll see. Poison Ivy. Another one. But I bet if you pay $1 extra for one of those cardstock variants, which I think there's a Jenny Frison one, you'll have a better view of it. But anyway, Poison Ivy, number 10, solid issue. Really liked it. Pamela has decided to move back to Gotham to be with Harley, the love of her life, but she needs to make a pit stop, so she goes to this like getaway of these like new agey, like earth-loving hippie types, and it's kind of funny, and it's making a statement, but it's also continuing some of the thread of what's been building up, and I think G. Willow Wilson's been doing a great job with Poison Ivy. The only thing is I'm really not sold on this like outfit that Poison Ivy wears. Like, I don't know. It can be what it is. Then we got The Flash 794, the 5th part of the 1 Minute War. Basically, an alien race is coming to Earth. They can tap into the Speed Force. They're at super speed, and they conquer planets within a minute. So everything happening here is happening within a minute. Everybody's standing still except for the Flash family and the villains. And this one spotlights the daughter of Wally West. There's been a lot of tragedy in this book that's not handled with a lot of weight, which led me to believe that a lot of it's going to be undone. They're leading us more into that. That being said, it's still kind of fun. Then we got Batman, issue 133. Yes, 133. I'm actually liking what Chip Zdarsky's doing in the pages of Batman, and story-wise, I'm coming around on this story. By the way, this is $4.99. Not near as bad as the $3.99. Is that the new status quo, DC? We deserve better than that. That being said, this was an okay issue of Batman. So Batman's been flung into another reality. Been there, done that, whatever. But in this one, I don't know. There's a piece of it that just kind of feels a little bit more comfortable. There's just a piece like with the pacing that feels a little bit better. Mike Hawthorne is a capable artist, but it's hard to follow up Jorge Jimenez with Mike Hawthorne. I'll just say that. So it's an okay issue that kind of got me a little bit more into this story than I had been since. But my favorite DC book I read this week was The Adventures of Superman John Kent, number 1, Tom Taylor, and it's a $3.99, so the comparison, come on DC, we need better for this. But I like it. It's Tom Taylor, Clayton Henry. It's a Superman story, Jonathan Kent. So John Kent, it's a new fresh start. I dropped out of the Jonathan Kent Superman book, Son of Kal-El. I dropped out of it. I just wasn't feeling it as much as I felt other Tom Taylor books. This first issue was really cool. There's a multiversal threat. Basically, Ultraman's pulling a Highlander. He's pulling the One, right? He's going through all these different universes, and he's trying to kill every version of Kal-El, right? So Val Zod from Earth 2 shows up on Earth 0 and finds Jonathan Kent and says, Jonathan, you need to go with me through the multiverse and hunt down Ultraman from Earth 3. And it's a really cool setup, a lot of action, lots of a decent setup for the character, where he is, who he is, where he's at, and his relationships, how he connects to everything, and then building into the story that I really liked. I really liked this book. I thought it was great, and it is my DC pick of the week. So to recap, from last week, Action Comics was dope. Human Target was one of the best Tom King endings I've ever seen. Batman and the Joker, great art, stagnant story, but worth it. Static, kind of losing me, and the paper quality sucks on these books. Poison Ivy, great story, terrible paper quality. Same thing with The Flash, great, decent, consistent story. Batman, pulling me into that world just a little bit. But Adventures of Superman, John Kent, really, really like that. And that has been your DC Sneak Peek. All right. Take a look at the chat. Bum. Ouroboros says, oh my God, Action Comics 1052 was amazing. I agree. Who cares about chest hair? Chest hair is totally not cool anymore, apparently. Ronald says, looking like soggy pizza. Yes, you are right. Mike says, another reason to get the cardstock covers. They're usually the better covers anyway. Yeah, I just like the trade dress, though. That's me. Billy says, there's an old saying in Hollywood, never meet your heroes. Steph says, I met Matt Fraction and he was lovely. He was lovely. Very handsome man as well. Speaking of lovely. Glad Jorge's on Nemesis right now, though. I agree. Brian says, I've met plenty of my heroes and it was often a great experience. I agree with that. John Stout says, same, Brian. Hey, we got Bob here. Bruh. Good evening, comic fan. Robbie, I've missed you, bruh. Hope you've been well. I've been well. I hope you've been well, Bob. How are you doing, Bob? How are you? When can we get you on a chat again or something? When can we get you on a conversation? Let's have another conversation. I wish you could be in Megacon with me and Bueller, bro. We're gonna have such a great time. We're gonna be missing you, man. Ice is a great character. Bruh, I love Ice so much. I didn't realize how much I loved Ice till Human Target. I did not collect any of the issues of Human Target, but I will definitely be buying like the complete hardcover when they come out with that. I know they got a hardcover for book 1, but I want it in 1. Human Target was fucking awesome, y'all. Human Target was great. That's a Tom King book I can get behind. And Greg Smallwood, holy. Ice is so hot in that book, y'all. I'm thirsty for Ice right now, man. Speaking of thirsty for Ice, there's Ice in the shots that I have to make tonight. Anyway, Super Chat menu is active. $1 to encourage me to drink some water. $5 for a beer cheers. $10 for a Hellboy song. $20 I'll do a shot. $50 I'll chug a beer. We're raising money. I'm pimping myself out. We're raising money for for Megacon. Frank Miller, I got to pay $150 to meet him, but I got to do it, man. Got to do it. Late 80s Justice League International is my favorite, says Billy. Hell yeah. Hey, we got Chris from Lost in Comics in the house station. Chris just had a conversation with Declan Shalvey, which I haven't watched yet, but I'm excited to. I got it on my queue for tomorrow. Tomorrow, Monday, is the day where I have to be focused in at work, do a lot of computer work. So I'll listen to things, and I am ready to dive into that conversation, bro. You're doing big things, Chris. We're proud of you here. We still got to get together. Chris, what do you think of Human Target? The ending. Have you been reading that? That shit was so good. Choco's 26 says Batman 133 is fire. That outfit. Bob is jealous about Megacon. You should be. Lost says, who is going to Heroes Con? Hoping to make it. I am going to Heroes Con. I will never miss another Heroes Con at all. Lars says, I really like the Batman Catwoman by Tom King also. I got to reread it. Hey, we got some super chats coming in. First of all, Bob says, well worth the money, Robbie. You will be in the presence of comic book royalty. I just hope that there are still tickets available for the Frank Miller Experience on Thursday when I get paid. Maybe I should just go ahead and put it on a credit card. Maybe I should just do it after the show. What do y'all think? Do it right now. Speaking of super chats, Twitch with the $1 super chat. Thank you so much. Encouraging me to drink water. Water is love. Water is life. And then we got Sal with a $10 super chat. Station, that gives a beer cheers. As well as the Hellboy song. And Sal, I want to celebrate your very first super chat you've ever given us. This is a new thing YouTube's done. It's letting me know that this is your first super chat to this channel. So thank you so much. This one's for you, Sal. By the way, Kid Cudi announced new album in the fall. New album in the fall, y'all, from Kid Cudi. Station. Hey, Sal. Let me tell you about this little man I know. His name is Hellboy. He was sent to the earth some long time ago to save it or destroy. Brought to this earth by Rasputin, son of a demon and a nun who had a sex with the demon, but was raised by Professor Broom. Now he fights evil and monsters. Now he fights with the man who's a fish named Abe. That means fish? No, it doesn't. Now he fights with a fire starter named Liz and an ectoplasmic mess named Johann. PTRD, yeah, Sal is the greatest. Thank you for your first super chat to this channel. You know that it helps support all of this fun that we have on Sunday night. It's Rockin Robbie Live.
Welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. I'm Rockin Robbie Live.
All right. Thank you so much, Sal, for the super chat. Thank you, Twitch, as well. Thank you so much, Fable, for showing or for putting up the link to the Declan Shalvey interview. You tell me, Robbie, I'm ready for a collab project. Yeah, fuck yeah. Man. It's on me, y'all. I'm the reason we haven't done it. Thanks, Chris, for throwing me under the bus. Lost says, dude, Declan was a blast. I got your question, and also he had a great answer for it. Look for it towards the end of the show. Hell yeah, I'll check it out. And Brian wants everybody to know he's going to be at Heroes Con as well. Man, I hope Jim Monfood's there again. I wish I was in Seattle this week. Joe's in Seattle. And Jim. Billy says, I disagree about Chip's Batman. Keep him on Daredevil where he belongs. Love is Daredevil. And Marvel's best book behind Punisher. Marvel is definitely, I think, their best book right now is Punisher. Mark says Declan is a cool cat. Not being an American, but what kind of brand of beer are you drinking? So this is Hazy IPA. It's called Snake Handler. Or it's called Hazy Snake. It's from Good People, which I believe is out of Birmingham, Alabama, I think. It's an IPA that they do. They have a Snake Handler IPA that I love. This is like a kind of a version of that. Yo, what's up, Jordan? Let's see, where are we at? Yeah, Greg Smallwood did Moon Knight with Jeff Lemire, worth checking out. Yeah, also James Stokoe was on that, and so was Francisco Francavilla. That's a really good run. They take a lot of inspiration from that Moon Knight series, from that run in particular. All right, y'all, I feel like I want to take a shot. So right now we're slashing the price till the end. Until the next break, shots are $10, not $20. I want a shot. I want that sweetness in my life. Robbie, have you watched the XFL this season? Thoughts? No, I have not watched any of the XFL. Maybe I should. OUG says, what do you think about Mark Guggenheim saying that he feels the Arrowverse was a waste of time because Gunn didn't call him and he has to get new jobs since? Trying to figure out how to say this without offending people. And I don't think I can. And I'm 3 shots, 1 chugged beer in. So I guess I'm just going to ahead and say it. I have never taken the Arrowverse seriously in comparison to DC's cinematic efforts, okay? I'm not shitting on anybody that likes the Arrowverse or any shows from the Arrowverse, but I dipped out 3 seasons of Flash, 4 seasons of Arrow, 1 season of Legends of Tomorrow, 2 seasons of Supergirl. I'm done. I'm out of it. Never looked back. Never felt like I missed anything. And I just feel like those shows were not made for me. They were made for teenagers. There were elements of them that were good, but then they kind of went away from that. Why do you think James Gunn, who's setting up the next 10 years of DC films, would holler at you, bruh? You had your 10 years. James Gunn honestly didn't have to meet with The Rock. He didn't have to meet with Henry Cavill. He did. I appreciate that he did. Maybe he should have had a meeting with Mark. Bought him lunch. Said, hey man, appreciate everything you did. I don't know what to say about that except for the Arrowverse film. I'm expecting more out of the films than I got out of the Arrowverse. And I don't know, maybe James Gunn just doesn't like the Arrowverse. I don't know. That's how I feel. We got Verno in the house. Station. All right, we got 64 likes. 5 more likes to 69. I'll take a shot. Speaking of shots, we got a super chat from Twitch. This might be something you regret. It might be. But Twitch, thank you so much. I just want some of this sweet nectar in my life. Thank you very much, Twitch. We appreciate all the support. Here's to you, PCP Army. Here's to PCP Army and the Arrowverse. Also, to the Yankees. Delicious. Oh my goodness. Okay, I shouldn't have asked for shots. Verno says, about to watch me some Tenebrae. That's right. Tomorrow night on PCP Movie Night, we're continuing March Madness with Tenebrae. And Verno's going to be there. One of our co-hosts over at Dylan's Horror Show. We had a great conversation on a clown last night. That was the best Dylan's Horror Show, I think, of the year. I had a lot of fun last night. We're really coming together. Maybe it's because Fable wasn't there. Just kidding. Just kidding. Bob says, I kind of agree with Guggenheim, but I don't think it was a waste of time. Steph says, Guggenheim did a solid for TV. John Stout says, Tree Paper Dad, I'm enjoying the XFL. I'm thinking about going to Seattle to see a game. Bob says, DC should have treated their properties better. Ouroboros Snake says, feel bad for Guggenheim. Did what he could along with Berlanti. I would like to see them do something more premiere, though. And that's the thing. Now they're free to do that. Then we got Twitch with, I always used to pound 2 shots of tequila back-to-back. I had tequila last Sunday. So I had a work function. And it involved tequila. It was, what the fuck was something like Diamante? Dobel Diamante or something? Is that a thing? Yeah, Dobel Diamante. That shit was so good. Twitch, thank you so much. That one has some ice in it. And then we got Russell Williams with Shots. Shots, also, what are your thoughts on Aaron's Punisher? I think Aaron's Punisher is Marvel's best book right now. I think it is an incredibly well done, well thought out comic book, an exploration on Frank Castle, his past and his present, and elaborating on the character of Maria Castle more than anybody has ever really done, and doing it in a very interesting way. I'm loving it. The artwork from both Paul Azaceta or Paul Azaceta. Brian, if you're still here, hard C, soft C, let me know. Brian always likes to correct me on how I pronounce creators' names. But the Paul stuff is great, and I love the Jesus Saez stuff. I think the art is great, and I absolutely love it. So this shot is for Russell. 3 shots. Let's rock out. Let me tell you about this old man that I know. His name is Jason, but it's not just any Jason. It's the Jason from the NES. That makes him the most infuriating Jason, because we never knew what we were gonna get. We didn't understand things like patterns or algorithms back in 1989. Still, I rented this game a week. Every week, I would keep it until we had to take it back. I never had this game in my PC, but I had the same copy rented out for weeks. I mean, I really like the Friday the 13th game. Some of the best music in an NES game. And never beat it. I've seen people on YouTube beat it. Why am I still playing? I've seen people on YouTube beat that game in like 6 fucking minutes. I don't get it. I've tried. Me and Brooks, we tried. We made a map. We watched all these videos. I've got to beat that goddamn game. Friday the 13th. Sorry. Is that cranberry? Yes, it's cranberry. It's Jägermeister, cranberry juice, and peach schnapps. It's called a redheaded slut. It's really good. Whatever, Twitch. Lost in Comics says, dude, Ronald, everyone, I'm reading Alan Moore's Swamp Thing for the first time. I don't have the words. I feel bad for you and excited for you. You get to read it for the first time. I wish I could do that. That's such a good book. The werewolf issue is one of my favorites. You probably already gotten to that one. The art, oh my goodness. Alan Moore's Swamp Thing is brilliant. John Toddleben, right? And Steve Bissette. Like, yeah. The problem is after you finish it, Chris, comics ain't going to be as good for like at least 2 weeks. Like every comic you read for 2 weeks, every new comic you read for 2 weeks, you're going to be like, bah, it's not Alan Moore's Swamp Thing. Same thing happens when you read Sandman. Same thing happens, I think, when I read Invisibles. Not everybody. Some people can't. It's a challenging book. Anyway. Hey, Kenneth is in the house. What is up? Steph says, Brian, make sure Robbie's on a coffee diet tomorrow. Twitch encouraging me to drink some water. Hell yeah. Yeah, it would have been way better with Fable, bro. Brian says, I'm waiting for my daughter to go to sleep so I can watch Tenebrae again. Bruh, I've watched Tenebrae 2.5 times. Tonight I gotta finish it. I'm watching it with the commentary. And to end the episode with 2 glasses of water. Hey, Damien, Sleepy Reader 666 Station, my man. How you doing? I gotta give you a holler for the next. Damien, I'll let you. Are you still reading? Are you current right now on comics? I haven't seen you drop a video. If you're current on comics, you want to have a chat with us, March 23rd, I believe, is the date we're doing the monthly review. We're doing it early because I'm going to be at Megacon. So we're actually doing it before the final week, but it is what it is. You're invited if you want to join us, Damien. Calling Sokovia is the one that makes me chuckle every time. He's going to be at Megacon. Got to dip out. Doing a Luther rewatch before the movie drops on Netflix this Friday. That drops this. I don't think I've watched the last season of Luther. I love Luther. Idris Elba. I just want to. Anyway, good stuff. Yeah, I keep calling him Sokovia. Why not? Yeah, I like Jesus Sayas a lot. Hell yeah, the music from that game is great. Yeah, the Friday the 13th is like some of the best NES music. Oh yeah, and Rick Veitch as well, and Alfred Alcala. Not familiar with the name for some reason. I'm not on Twitch, Jordan. Actually, we are. There's nothing there. It's the Pop Culture Philosophers, I guess. Chris says, from Lost in Comics, says, just finished Volume 1, literally what you're saying. I just told David the pouch, the same thing. The Swamp Thing makes everything else seem so inferior. That's a real thing. Yeah, it is. Just saw Barbarian. What a blast of a film. One of my favorite films from last year, Ouroboros. Chris says, Alan Moore's Swamp Thing is real evidence that heavy dialogue when done well is a great thing. I'm entranced with every word and panel. Yes, exactly. You know what, Carrie? We need to have you on the monthly review. You read comics every week. Why don't we get you on? If Damien can't make it, you need to make it, Carrie. I would love to invite you to be a part of our monthly conversation, Carrie. March 23rd, 7 p.m. Central, if you're available, Carrie. Sorry, Damien, I rescind my invite. I would love to have you on, Carrie. That would be great. But it's always good to see you, Damien. We can have both of you if you want. Yeah, Carrie, you. OUG, come on. Hello, Tacos. That got my attention. Wow, Luther is still on. Have not seen that in years. Season 1, maybe. I love Luther. They brought it back for another season. Now they're bringing it back for like a movie. But it's not been consistently. Sleepy Reader says, no worries, I'm rarely free. Damien, if you want to join us, you're free to join us. But if I understand. Damien is a busy, important person, y'all. Y'all don't even know. Bueller told me some stuff about you. I'm like, whoa, bruh. Damien seems like legit as shit. Bueller had nothing to say but nice things about you. I cannot wait to see him. I got to get out to the Pacific Northwest, though, still, to see you guys. You and Jen and And Bob, of course. I'm surprised nobody's asked me about The Mandalorian. I didn't watch it because people are like, yeah, bro, you actually have to watch the Boba Fett show. So I need to watch the Boba Fett show first. Shit, we're over 2 hours already. All right, we're taking a break. When we come back, we got some stuff to get through. This has been a good show, y'all. Marvel in the 90s, Batman, show and tell, all of that when we come back here on Rockin Robbie Live. And do not forget, Super Chat menu is still active. Drink some water, beer cheers for $5, Hellboy song for $10, and I was doing shots for $10, but that's about to end. Shots will, when we come back, be $20, and chugging a beer is $50. And I'm glad that Mark Spears had me chug a beer. Anyway, we'll be right back here on Rockin' Robbie Live, y'all. How's it supposed to feel, by the way?
How it's supposed to feel.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life. I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, bitch, hand me the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light. Ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel, I took the red pill, I know life's short so I wanna live real, but how's it supposed to feel?
How's it supposed to feel?
How's it supposed to feel? They wanna sing my name, but they holding back. They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't playing no games, I just do that's fact. And I don't feel no shame, it's a mood you lack. I go crazy, nah bitch I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on the shit daily. Pass me the jack, right as fuel, got me hazy. About to unpack all these things I've been chasing. I've got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath, I'd rather lead than be led. I'll fill the seats as I spread with every word that I've said.
How's it supposed to feel?
How's it supposed to feel?
Hey everyone, come check us out at The Experience this Monday, March 6th at 6 p.m. Eastern. It's our usual time. We'll have all your favorites, Dynamite, Marvel, DC, and everyone will be here. Rex, hopefully John, Robbie. I'll come in if I feel like it, and you definitely know Nick will. So no matter what, it'll be a good time. Remember, it's March 6th. It's a Monday, 6 p.m. Eastern, only on The Experience. See you then.
Welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. I'm Rockin' Robbie Live!
everybody, welcome back to Rockin Robbie Live here on a Sunday night on Pop Culture Philosophers. I am your host, Rockin Robbie Bills. We've had a great show already. All we've really done is just bullshit, have a lot of fun conversation, an intense conversation for a moment about J.K. Rowling and the trans community. Where did that come from? And we did the DC sneak peek, but like that's it. Like we still got Marvel in the 90s, Batman. Perry, I see you in the chat. First of all, happy birthday. We'll get to that in a second. Happy birthday. I need more Batman clips. I'm on the last one tonight, and this is my favorite one that you've given so far. And yes, Two Gun, I know we're 69 likes and beyond. We'll get to that in a second. Anyway, we got Marvel in the 90s, Batman, show and tell. We got a lot to do. We got a lot to do. Well, what was I thinking? This is fun. I should do this Super Chat menu more often. Speaking of which, Super Chat menu is available right now. $1 to encourage me to drink some water. $5 for a beer cheers. $10 for the Hellboy song. $20 for a shot. $50 to chug a beer. And we did hit 69 likes. So that's a shot right there. We'll do another shot at 100 likes. If we can get to 100 likes, we'll do another shot. So this is to you, PCP Army. Delicious. Delicious. You can support us at patreon.com/PCP, like these fine PCP patrons right there. You can follow Pop Culture Philosophers on Facebook and on Instagram. And if you're on Facebook, join the PCP Army. That's the official Pop Culture Philosophers Facebook group. All these links and more in the description below. You can also find links to merch, right? Podcasts and more at popculturephilosophers.com. You can get $15 in Whatnot credit for new accounts at whatnot.com/invite/the Rockin Robbie. You can save 10% at dynamicforces.com when you enter code Robbie. You can save 10% at blackboxcomics.net when you enter code PCP10, and check out our new Shopify store in conjunction with Dynamic Forces. Link in the description below. Absolutely fantastic stuff curated by me and Rex, who I do the Rex and Robbie show with on Fridays, and who I do the EXP comic collectibles with Dynamic Forces show. That is at dynamicforces.myshopify./collections/pop-culture-philosophers. The link is conveniently put in the description below. There's some great stuff in there chosen by me and Rex, and we're going to be adding more every Friday and spotlighting it on our Friday show. So I really do appreciate it. And Perry, I was going to do a shot for you for your birthday anyway. It is Perry's 30th birthday, everybody. So Perry, you get the grand treatment. I guess you get back-to-back shots. So thank you for the super chat, my man. Also, just thank you for you. And happy birthday, Perry. All right. It's getting wild. It's getting wild. Real quick. PCP Mystery Box is now available. Only $10 for this week. $30. That includes shipping. Email us at popculturephilosophers@gmail.com if you are interested. Tomorrow, PCP Movie Night, 8 p.m. Central Time, continuing March Madness with Tenebrae. Dylan's Horror Show continues March Madness on Saturday, 6:30-ish p.m. Central Time with the Black Cat. But before tomorrow night's show, join us for Scarpad Sci-Fi Sojourns. They'll be talking about Infinity Pool. Station, y'all. This is for Perry from the heart. Let me tell you about this little man I know. His name is Perry. He was a YouTuber who used to talk about comic books and some bullshit. seemed like thousands of other people decided that they wanted to watch it with him for the first time. Now Perry knows what he's gotta do. Yes, I've seen Clint Eastwood movies too. I would suggest for Clint Eastwood one of the greatest westerns of all time, Unforgiven. Bro, you gotta watch Unforgiven. Clint Eastwood, he directed it. He stars in it. Gene Hackman's in it. Morgan Freeman's in it. Unforgiven won Academy Award for Best Picture. Such a good movie. Yeah, I'm feeling good, Chris. Woo! Bum, 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 bum. Da-na-na, bum, bum, bum. Are we even gonna get to Marvel in the 90s or Batman? Shit, I don't know. Who knows? Just having fun. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. Yeah, I'm feeling it, Two Gun. I really am. I think I'm approaching drunk. I think I'm approaching drunk right now, y'all. I think I am. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I'm feeling pretty good. It's a positive, jovial feeling, though. It's not bad. Look at everybody saying happy birthday. Somebody asked me if I'd seen True Blood. I'm not going to be able to keep up with everything tonight, y'all, for the rest of the show. So we're going to see what we can do, okay? We're going to see what we can do. Super chat menu is still active. Oh, yeah, I had to drink some water. So I got my sexy Aquaman water glass. So that makes sense, right? So. All right, that's for all the waters. Super chat menu still active. $1 to encourage me to drink some water. $5 for a beer cheers. $10 Hellboy song. We got a lot of Hellboy songs tonight. $20 for a shot. $50 I'll chug a beer. You know what? I'm taking the $50 option off. We're not going to do that. If you do $50, I'm just going to take a shot and sing the Hellboy song again. So don't even waste your money, okay? I'm not chugging another beer. Sorry. Not doing it. Just not doing it. Cutting that one off. Put the song on Spotify. I don't know if we can. I didn't do the music for it, but somebody asked me if I'd ever seen True Blood. Yeah, I saw the first season of True Blood and actually really liked it. I never continued it though. And then someone said Sookie versus Buffy. Well, I only know season 1 Sookie. So I will say easily Buffy. So I don't know what she becomes, but should I commit to rewatching True Blood? Because right now, I was rewatching Twin Peaks. Oh, a burp's coming. So I was rewatching Twin Peaks. I got stalled out, and now lately, I've been watching Demon Slayer. It's okay. Demon Slayer's okay. I liked volume 1 of the manga. I have surpassed where I was in the manga now in the series. And the series is okay. It's very slow. Heavy on the exposition. That being said, I am also watching Sense8 right now by the Wachowskis and J. Michael Straczynski. I didn't even realize Straczynski was involved. I'm at the end of season 1. And I am loving the fuck out of that show. Like, that show is really my cup of tea. Like, 100%. And I'm ashamed that I hadn't seen it before, to be honest. So, Hello Taco says Unforgiven is the best Western. I agree. We did a Westerns podcast. I believe I put that as my number one. OUG says the books are better for True Blood. Jay, what is up? Super producer Jay Burns is in the house. The album dropped in 2007, bro. I'll send you a link. Anna Paquin was a cutie. Is a cutie. She can get it. There's a lot of sexy people in True Blood. I remember, dude, what was his name? Lafayette? Was that the dude? Lafayette, like her friend? Yeah. And then there's like the main dude. I'm not into that, but like the blonde dude, I guess, is that Alexander Skarsgård? Is that Alexander Skarsgård? There's a lot of Skarsgårds. Are they all related? Yeah, that dude. He was in The Northman, which is one of my favorite movies of last year. And he's in Infinity Pool, right? With Mia Goth. Yeah. He can get it as well. So, all right. So, yeah, she was Rogue in the X-Men. Loving the freestyle. Well, thank you, Evolving Earth Angel. That's Perry's girlfriend, right? Or is that Perry now? What's going on? All right. We shouldn't do it. We should just bullshit for the rest of the show, but we're going to do it anyway. It's time for... Yep. We shouldn't do this right now because I fucked that up. Hold on. Should have brought more water. All right. Hold on. Oh, shit. Both. We got Perry and his lady watching. Hell yeah. How you doing, Evolving Earth Angel? Are you going to be at Megacon? Do I get to meet you as well? I'm curious. And his character in True Blood, the last name was Northman. Are you serious, OUG? OUG, did you watch The Northman? It's like allegedly based on it's based on like the story that inspired the story of Hamlet, right? Very Viking. I love that fucking movie. Robert Eggers, who did The Witch, who did The Lighthouse and The Northman. The Witch, The Lighthouse, The Northman. Holy. He's got a theme going, doesn't he? Evolving Earth Angel, thank you for being here. And happy birthday to your dude Perry. I hope he's been behaving himself today, but let him celebrate. Let him get loose if he wants to. I don't know what the hell I'm saying. Anyway, it's time for Marvel in the 90s. All right, we're talking about Uncanny X-Men 271. This is what, like the fourth part of Extinction Agenda. This is a 9-part series, goes across X-Men, or Uncanny X-Men, I should say, X-Factor, and New Mutants. And we're getting into it. This one's written by Chris Claremont and drawn by Jim Lee, inked by Scott Williams, letters by Tom Orzechowski, and the coloring is by Glynis. What's the last name? Glynis Oliver. All right. So let's get into it. So a recap in the first page. And I love this because it's like, here's the situation and here are the players. The X-Men, Jubilee, Wolverine, and Psylocke are in Genosha. Why? Because the Genosians have kidnapped some young mutants. They're at the bottom. Storm, Boom Boom, Pop Pop, Boom Boom, Wolfsbane, and Richter. And we get this whole idea. And the international community knows that the Genosians have kidnapped these people, and one of them has died. The one that died was Warlock. Don't worry, he gets better. Anyway, the president of Genosha, she is like, you know what? I get the international outcry. However, they broke Genosian law, and that's why they're here. Then we click right into the splash page. Kind of a dull splash page, Jim Lee, just saying. Could have been bigger, could have been more impactful, but we got some of those moments coming up. So we got Richter and Boom Boom. They have escaped from the magistrates, and they're being hunted down. Jim Lee, by the way, draws these same kind of costumes that the magistrates are wearing. This like like armor that he's got. He uses this over and over and over, but man, oh man, do I like this book. This is the most exciting issue of Extinction Agenda for me yet. So while Richter and Boom Boom are being hunted down by the magistrates, the X-Men show up. So we already had X-Factor and some of the other New Mutants show up. Some of the other X-Men show up. But now we've got proper X-Men. Nothing against Cyclops or Cable or whatever, or Banshee or Forge. I love those characters. But we got Jubilee, we got Wolverine and Psylocke. And we've got Jim Lee artwork. This is awesome. And it's not even peak Jim Lee yet. And that's what's amazing to me. It's not peak Jim Lee artwork, but it still is dynamic. It is kinetic. It is exciting. And it's taking the verbosity of Chris Claremont and elevating it into a very dynamic level. And I think that's amazing. Jubilee looks awesome on this page. Wolverine looks awesome on this page. And as cartoonist kayfabe, Ed Piscor likes to say, look at that arm hair inked by Scott Williams. But look at that Psylocke by Jim Lee. Okay, I've been going on and on tonight about how much I'm into Greg Smallwood's Ice. What about Jim Lee's Psylocke? Oh my God, the artwork here is so amazing. And I like the coloring. There's some interesting choices. The use of white to show moments of impact. Like when Havoc's lady, that's right, Havoc, has kind of lost himself, been brainwashed, has become a magistrate himself. This is his lady right now, tearing down Wolverine with like an electrocuted baton or something like that. But then Psylocke shows up, hits her with her Psyblade, which is the totality of her telepathic powers. And she tells you that at least 2 times, maybe 3 in this book. But oh my goodness, Jim Lee's Psylocke, she can get it. Meanwhile, Jubilee's checking in on Wolverine and he's being all stoic. Memento Mori. You know what I'm saying? He's being all stoic, being like, pain is pain. Pain don't hurt. He's like Patrick Swayze in Roadhouse, right? Love that philosophy. Love that idea. But I love seeing the counterpoint. Take care of yourself, right? Richter and Boom Boom are like, who are these fools? Or actually, Jubilee's like, Richter and Boom Boom, who are these fools? Wolverine's like, they're cool. They're with us. But Psylocke wants to share their memories with everybody. Another great Psylocke pose right here. And another fantastic moment in the artwork, catching us up. Chris Claremont was able to tell an ongoing story in a soap operatic fashion, but still fashion and craft each issue to tell a complete story. Even in the midst of a very overbloated crossover like Extinction Agenda, I really appreciate that. Wolverine still being Wolverine. Psylocke and Jubilee are being themselves. Psylocke's badass, yo. This is the heyday of Psylocke for me. And yes, Steph, you're right. Wolverine in the tan and brown, the best Wolverine costume. Then we cut to an NPR video broadcast, that's odd, with the Gene-Gineer, who is a representative of Genosha. He's the one that transforms the mutants into mutates, erasing their identity, their memories, making them slaves. Moira McTaggart is debating him, but Moira has something's evil about her, and they kind of represent it here. Talk about, I'll be honest with you, as much as Jim Lee can elevate this into a form of dynamic storytelling, pages like this, what the fuck, Chris Claremont? What are we doing here, bruh? Like, that's a whole chapter of a kid's book at the top panel there. Like, what's going on here? But they're talking, they're doing their thing. He's not completely sold on what Cameron Hodge is doing. He's got his own things. He's talking about this Phillip dude. I'm confused. Who's this Phillip dude? They keep referencing the X-Men being in Genosha before, and I barely remember that. But then we cut to him doing his thing. Storm busts in because Storm escaped as well. Wolfsbane also escaped, but I think she got recaptured. But we don't see her in this issue. But Storm shows up and finds the Gene-Gineer and has him captive. But then Cameron Hodge shows up. Some great Jim Lee artwork there. He shows up. He's like, yo, with the president. He's like, yo, you found Storm. We got her. You can't stop me. And Gene-Gineer, who has his doubts about Cameron, who wants to go against Cameron Hodge, Hodge is kind of forcing him now, like, to show his loyalty. He's like, you're going to turn Storm right now into a mutate. And yes, Storm, once again, still has all of her memories, and all of her powers, but she has been de-aged by going through the Siege Perilous, right? So then we get to Psylocke and Wolverine. He left Jubilee to take care of Richter, and boom, boom, pop, pop, boom, boom. Sal says, best arm hair there is. Scott Williams, best arm hair there is. I agree. So Psylocke and Wolverine are dressing up as stormtroopers to infiltrate the Empire, basically, is what's going on. They're dressing up as magistrates to infiltrate the Genosian stuff. Psylocke gets a big flash. She senses that Storm is in danger. Wolverine falls. Other magistrates show up. Wolverine's like, we need medic help right now. That's their way to get into where Storm is being turned into a mutate, right? So they show up, but so does Havoc. And Havoc, brainwashed as he is, coming off the Siege Perilous, being brainwashed as a Genosian, he's fully on board with them. We've already seen him in the last chapter fight in a near-to-death battle with his brother, Cyclops. Luckily, they can't hurt each other. But he recognizes Psylocke wearing his lover's gear, and he also recognizes Wolverine and Psylocke, and he just lets loose. And look at the energy on this page. That energy blast from Havoc, the reaction from Wolverine, and oh my goodness, it just keeps getting better. These are panels that just I die for. I love this stuff about 90s comics. This is the best stuff from that era, especially the early 90s. Then Psylocke hits him once again with the totality of her telepathic powers with the Psyblade, and maybe that scrambles him to good. I don't know. We'll see. Once again, some really sexy poses of Psylocke from Jim Lee. Love the straps. Man, I think I'm more into Psylocke than I've ever realized. I mean, I've always known I was into Psylocke. I'm majorly into her. Anyway, then we've got Cameron Hodge shows up. He gets Wolverine. Wolverine, dude, look at that pose. Well, look at that top panel. That's great. Look at that bottom panel. It's all great. It's Jim Lee being Jim Lee, and he's not even at the height yet of what he's going to be able to do with this title, with other books, right? So Psylocke's just blasting away. She throws her Psyblade, which, by the way, in case you didn't know, is the totality of her telepathic powers, into Cameron Hodge, but it doesn't work, and he throws it right back at her. She gets scrambled, and he's like, I want you all to see your beloved Storm get turned into a mindless mutate, and allegedly, that's what happens here at the end of the issue. So I don't actually have this singular issue. I wish I did. So I had to pull out my old school Extinction Agenda trade paperback, which does a great job of reproducing some of this stuff. I'm just going to hit some of my favorite moments in the artwork. These 2 pages right there, big dynamic Wolverine spots in the brown and tan. This page right here is probably my favorite in the whole thing, but Psylocke is so goddamn sexy there. Love this one as well. And this one right there. You know, how into Psylocke am I? It's on the floor, but I got a Psylocke trading card down there. But it fell. What the fuck, Chris Claremont? What the fuck? We don't need all that. Just gonna say. Because of there are moments where there's just way too many words, and it still has a dynamic quality to it. I love the way he draws Cameron Hodge, by the way, but this right here, that's one of my favorite bits. This right there, oh my goodness, look at that, y'all. Jim Lee knew what he was doing. That, another favorite panel. And then the end. Sexy Psylocke, Wolverine being berserker, being crazy. What a great comic. Chris Claremont gets a little too into himself sometimes with the dialogue, a lot of exposition. At least in this issue, he truncates a lot of that down into like 2 to 3 pages, and it kind of stalls it out a little bit. But aside, it's free and loose. And this is the best issue of Extinction Agenda so far, Chapter 4, Uncanny X-Men 271. I'm going to give it 4.5 you digs. If you've read it, let me know what you think. Rate it in the comments, in the chat. Let us know. And this has been Marvel in the 90s. Well, that went better than I thought, actually. I'm feeling good, y'all. Lost in Comics says, I'm starting to love Psylocke tonight as well. Psylocke using a piece, yeah. Oh yeah, the Kill Squad X-Force. That was good stuff, Steph. The Clayton Crane, Christopher Yost stuff, right? That was good. Then Rick Remender and Jerome Opeña and other creators, other artists who did the Uncanny X-Force run right after. BJ says 4 you digs. Two Gun says 4.5 you digs. Hell yeah. All right, Perry. I don't know if you're still here, but happy birthday. And this next segment's for you because you're involved in it. And Perry, I need more Batman clips because this is the last one I got. But it's time to revisit Batman the Animated Series on a segment we like to call
You think I'm Iron Man, but I'm not. I am that man. Batman. Or am I the Joker? I don't know who I'm supposed to be. God damn it.
That is by far my favorite intro that Perry did. Thank you so much for these intros. Tonight, we're talking about the 5th episode of Batman the Animated Series in production order, Pretty Poison, the introduction of Poison Ivy into the mythology of the animated series. Story by Paul Dini and Michael Reeves. Teleplay by Tom Ruger. Directed by Boyd Kirkland. I'm starting to notice when we have Paul Dini and Boyd Kirkland's name attached, these are some pretty dope episodes, y'all. So it starts off with a flashback, and this is crazy. I thought that the very first episode with the Man-Bat was the only episode we ever really saw Harvey Dent as Harvey Dent before he became Two-Face. But that's wrong. He's fully involved here. So they are destroying an amazing part of Gotham, like this beautiful area of Gotham next to the river. They're going to build a new penitentiary there. And we see a figure who we don't get a full reveal of, who's got a flower right there on the water. And she's upset because Harvey Dent and Bruce Wayne are working together for this new penitentiary for a safer and brighter Gotham. So then they start destroying this land. And then 5 years later, and I love this bit because it's a really cool bit because it's something the mayor says, we're going to build a safer, better Gotham. And then it's like a better, safer Gotham 5 years later. And look at the difference. That's actually really kind of on the nose and really cool, right? So then we go into the penitentiary. There is an escaped criminal. His homie's picking him up in a helicopter. Batman is on the case, though. So we get a little bit of action. While that's happening, Harvey Dent is dating a new woman. They're having dinner. Bruce Wayne's supposed to be there, but he hasn't shown up yet. And he's dating Pamela Isley, who we know is Poison Ivy, but she's laying on the charm and as sexy as ever, right? Meanwhile, Batman is taking out this criminal. And that's what he does, and he does it very efficiently. But the Gotham City Police Department is still after him. Bullock still has a hard-on for Batman. They corner him. Batman gets away, but he captures the escaped criminal. He goes back to jail. He shows up at the Batcave. He's like, I'm being late. Alfred's like, yeah, I already let you know. Alfred is spotlighted so well in this episode, and the music is fantastic in this episode in particular. He gives him his suit. Bruce Wayne makes the dinner with Pamela and Harvey. Him and Harvey, they build up this friendship between them that I really, really like, and they build up the intensity in their relationship between Pamela and Harvey. She kisses him, she has to leave, and when she leaves, every man is obsessed with Poison Ivy. And if this was made today, that woman would also be looking at Poison Ivy because she totally should. Anyway, Harvey Dent is not just stricken by love, but he's stricken with a poison. That's right, he passes out in his chocolate mousse. Batman is there. He gets him to the hospital. The police show up. They're figuring out what's going on. The doctor's like, he's been poisoned. Bullock questions the chef. It's a really funny look, like comedic scene. that I appreciate. Batman, though, is on the case, figures out that he's been poisoned by this rare plant, this rare extinct rose. However, this rare rose, which is now extinct. However, someone has this rose. So if he can get a hold of the rose, he's going to get an antidote. So then he goes to the hospital to see Harvey. Pamela's there, but he's starting to get suspicious because Batman knows what is up. He gets Alfred to run a background check on Pamela Isley, finds out that she's a botanist, that she knows how to extract chemicals from plants, finds out everything about her. He's more suspicious. He knows it's her. He tracks her down to this greenhouse, shows up where she is, where she's making this poison. But he gets attacked by these plants, including this giant Venus flytrap in a really cool sequence, which I really like. The animation's pretty solid here. Pamela shows up as Poison Ivy in costume. She is very sexy. She lets on her whole rant about what she's doing, how they're destroying Gotham, how they're destroying the Earth, Mother Nature, and she's going to get her revenge. She applies her poison lipstick. This is her shtick. She goes, she kisses Batman. She poisons him. He's seeing double, triple, as we all would, being kissed by Pamela Isley. And he still has the wherewithal, though, to get out of the trap, to break out of the Flying Venus trap, or is it Flying Venus? Anyway, the Venus flytrap. Why is it Flying Venus? He winds up getting his knife out, cutting it, and coercing Poison Ivy, who's got this like crossbow on her wrist, to actually shoot at him, inadvertently hit the plant and kill it. She loses her mind. She eventually hits some electrical stuff. It shorts out, causes a big fire. She starts freaking out because the near extinct plant, the one plant that she saved, that she used to poison Harvey Dent, is there. And even though she wants to let Batman die, Batman's holding the plant hostage. He's like, help me, I'll save this plant. So she helps him. They get out together. She only cares about the plant. Batman only cares about what is right. And as her greenhouse burns down, she saves the plant and gets sent back to Arkham. Meanwhile, Harvey Dent's okay because Batman now has the antidote for the flower. And Pamela is there, stewing in Arkham Asylum, just ready. And that was Pretty Poison. A fantastic episode of Batman the Animated Series. And to be honest, the best one so far, 5 episodes in, a great introduction to Poison Ivy, a great exploration and an establishment of the friendship of Harvey Dent and Bruce Wayne. I loved it. I'm going to give Pretty Poison 5 you digs, y'all. 5 you digs. Great animation, great story, great voice acting, all around a fantastic episode. 5 you digs. And that has been...
You think I'm Iron Man, but I'm not. I am that man. Batman. Or am I the Joker? I don't know who I'm supposed to be. God damn it!
Hell yeah. Steph loves the Perry bit right there. Hello Taco says, kissed from a rose. Why didn't they have rubber lips on like Batman and Robin? Well, they'll eventually. Batman doesn't know Poison Ivy yet, right? Batman saw double D's. BJ says, 5 you digs. Hell yeah. All right, y'all. Time for Show and Tell. To kick off Show and Tell, we got a great package from Two Gun Pedro this week. Two Gun Pedro always likes to send me presents on the advent of Horror Fest and March Madness. So thank you so much, Two Gun. Got a new shirt. By the way, got this new shirt myself. Japanese Texas Chainsaw Massacre poster. But Two Gun sent me this Universal Monsters Kiss mashup. So it's the Universal Monsters as the Kiss album. Look at that. They're pretty dope. Very into that. He also sent me a Blu-ray from Vinegar Syndrome of Invisible Maniac. Something we're going to be covering on Dylan's Horror Show very soon. And I'm very excited to watch this. I've never seen it, but it looks right up my alley. Speaking of up my alley, he also sent me a couple of Cherry comics, issue 6 and issue 9. Very appropriate. These are very pornographic, Archie-style type comics. I flipped through them. Yeah, I'm into it. All right, my friend Jay was just recently at Pensacon and got me a horror mystery box. First of all, look at the box. It's the Lament configuration. The box is worth it alone. But within the box was this issue of Rue Morgue talking about Let's Scare Jessica to Death from a few years ago. That's dope because that's a dope movie. This thing is such a cool box. Let's open it up to show you what else was inside of it. All right. And by the way, for the duration of show and tell, $10 per shot. So we got this Zombie Hunter set of dog tags. I don't know what this is, if it's referencing a game or something, but they're pretty cool, actually. If I can get it open. Zombie Emergency Response Operations. It's pretty cool. We got this car air freshener, poison gas. We got these Jason hockey mask ice trays. That's dope. Can't wait to drink some whiskey with some Jason ice cubes. Look at these socks. Shining socks. The twins from The Shining. That's dope. We got this Walking Dead Daryl bag. It's like a bag you can have like if you want to go to a con or something. It's pretty dope. Straps on your back. We got this Beetlejuice pot for like a potted plant. I think that's a fake plant. Yeah, that's a fake plant, so I'll just put that up somewhere. But that's pretty dope. That's awesome. This is a great mystery box. We've got... Where did I put that? Where did I put it? There was a Lament configuration. Oh, there it is. So I got a pen for the Lament configuration from Hellraiser. That's dope. And... one of the coolest things in this box is this really awesome Jason mask. So if Kane Hodder happens to be at Scarefest this year, totally going to get him to sign that. So Jay, thank you so much. Jay and Two Gun Pedro, y'all rock. Y'all rock. Yeah, I shouldn't have opened the box, Perry. You're right. Should not have opened the box. All right. Well, that was show and tell, which leads us to your... Final Five. All right, we're going through this 1995 Spider-Man Fleer Ultra set. We're going through the team up still. There is 95 Scarlet Witch. Yeah, 95 Scarlet Witch can fucking get it. That art is by Peter Bollinger. That's sexy. That's sexy as shit. Then we got Silver Sable. She was a big deal back in the 90s, or at least they wanted her to be a big deal. Chris Hawkes did that one. It's all right. Then we've got Unlikely Allies. These are times when Spider-Man teamed up with an unlikely ally. From Amazing Spider-Man 55 with artwork by Ray Rubin, it's Spider-Man teaming up with Dr. Octopus. That's all right. It's okay. From Spider-Man 312, it's Spider-Man teaming up with Green Goblin. That's a dope card by Ezra Tucker. And then we've got from Spider-Man Amazing 385 by Catherine Huerta teaming up with the Jury. And that's all right. So the Iron Man and the Moon Knight are definitely top notches for me this week. But I got to give card of the week to this Scarlet Witch card. I mean, come on, y'all. Right? That's dope. And that has been your Final Five. All right, and that's the show. What a successful show. Having a lot of fun. And, you know what? We didn't hit 100 likes. We hit 79. Can we get to 80? If we get 80 likes, I feel like I can do a shot and we can end the show. We need one more like, y'all. Come on. Come on, y'all. Open the air freshener. I'm going to save that for the new car. I'm planning on getting a car soon, so. Scarlet Witch cosplaying as Tina Turner. All right, we got the likes. So we're going to do a shot and we're going to wrap up. Thank you all so much for joining us for Rockin Robbie Live. Got a delicious shot ready for us. So thank you so much for joining us for Rockin Robbie Live. Don't forget, PCP mystery boxes are now available. $30, including shipping. Comics, toys, cards, other surprises, original art from me. Email us at popculturephilosophers@gmail.com if you want one. Tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Central Time, Tenebrae for March Madness on PCP Movie Night. Dylan's Horror Show continues March Madness on Saturday with Lucio Fulci's The Black Cat. But before all of that, join Scarpad after my show with the EXP when he, on Scarpad's Sci-Fi Sojourns, talks about Infinity Pool. Lots of great stuff. Also next week, Sunday, 12 p.m. noon, 12 p.m. noon, Central Time, Rom V and PCP together again. We love you guys. Have a good one. I'm Rockin Robbie. On behalf of everybody here at PCP, thanks for rocking with us. Station. Pop, pop. Boom. Oh, wait. I didn't take the shot. That's good. Pop, pop, boom, y'all.
Welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. I'm Rockin Robbie Live.
All right, so we're going to open up this 3-figure collection from the Masters of the Universe Origins line. They've been doing the Sun Man figures, and I've been getting them because I don't have any of these vintage ones. Some of them, I don't know if they were all produced. I don't know. But this one has Pighead, Sun Man with like a fade, like a high top, and Space Sumo. So we're going to open these real quick. Because I was supposed to do a show with Brooks and Jelani for Go Figure, where we're going to talk about the new Sun Man figure. And I wasn't able to make it, but I want to reschedule. Fuck it, I'm just ripping it. Can't get, come on, open up. There we go. Anyway, I want to show off all my Sun Man figures. They all come with comics. That's dope. Hell yeah. The Sun Man figure is the exact same. It just has a different head. So let's look at these real quick. First of all, there's Pighead. He's got a shield. He's got another sword, or some kind of weapon, but he's a villain. So I get the Motu Origins of hard to find vintage figures. And that's why I get the Sun Man stuff. Here is Space Sumo. I would have loved this figure as a kid. Because of that. A removable helmet. That's dope as shit. And here is the Sunman with his high top. I really like that look for Sunman. It's the same figure, just a different head. But that's dope. Chocos with the super chat. Thank you so much, bruh. Chocos, this is for you. I want to hear everybody on this, okay? Let me tell you about this little man I know. His name is Hellboy. He was sent to the earth some long time ago to save it or destroy. Brought to this earth by Rasputin, son of a demon and a nana who had a sex with the demon, but was raised by Professor Broom. Now he fights evil and monsters. Now he fights with a man who's a fish named Abe. Now he fights with a fire starter named Bliss and an ectoplasmic mass named Yo. PPRD. Thank you so much, Chocos26. We're going to do a shot for that. Why not? We're at the end of the show. Can't hurt. All right, one thing about this Space Sumo that I realized is he comes with a sword, which is cool, but he comes with a holder for the sword. This would have been a figure I loved as a kid because he has a place to hold the sword and he has a removable mask. That's dope as shit. They should have made the Ninjor Motu Origins with a removable mask because I don't have the vintage. I have the Motu Origins. Anyway, thank you all so much. And the only thing I have left to say, how's it supposed to feel?
How it's supposed to feel.
How's it supposed to feel, PCP Army? Y'all live? Let's go. What?
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, bitch, hand me the bat, put me in the ring, go out in the bag, cause I seen what I mean, and I bring it to the mad light. Ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel. I took a red pill. I know life's short, so I wanna live real. But how's it supposed to feel?
How's it supposed to feel, PCP Army? I'm feeling lit. I'm feeling right. Thank you, PCP Army, for tonight.
How's it supposed to feel?
They wanna say my name, but they holding back. They wanna say they hate, but
but they know it's cap. I ain't play no games, I just do this fact, and I don't feel no shame. It's a mood you lack, I go crazy. Now bitch, I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on this shit daily. Pass me the jack, right as fuel, got me hazy. About to unpack all these dreams I've been chasing. I got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath, I'd rather lead than be led. I'll fill the seats as I spread with every word that I said.
How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel?
Yeah, I'm feeling it, Two Gun. I'm really feeling it right now. All right, we're about to do a taste test. We kept this new Coca-Cola Creations Move. I loved the Starlight one, or whatever it was called. It was supposed to taste like space. I loved that one. The Zero one in particular, I want that back. The Grape one, which was Bite, was rough. The Dream one was kind of rough. This one I hear tastes like coconut. I feel like this one's going to be rough, but we're going to try it. Smells like Coca-Cola with a slight taste of that coconut, or a slight hint of the smell of that coconut. And that means it's like artificial coconut flavoring, which to me tastes like suntan lotion. And I don't like that, so we're going to taste this. We're going to see. At first, it's crisp, it's clean, it's carbonation. It's fine. You get Coca-Cola. Then you start getting a slight bit of that suntan lotion coconut. But it's just slight enough to where you start thinking, maybe this is going to be good. And then it just comes right the fuck in and ruins the whole goddamn thing. Am I wrong in my estimation? Let's try again. Bite, cold, carbonation, Coke, a little bit of suntan lotion. Not bad. Way too much of it. Ugh. Oh, it's it's gross. One you dig, it's gross. One you dig, you made a Coke. It's not easy, I guess. I don't fucking know. We're gonna wipe this out with one final shot for tonight. This is for Space Sumo being such a badass figure. Place to stash the sword and a removable mask. Come on. This is for you. Yeah, suntan lotion. Oh, it's so gross. That's better. Love you guys. Catch you next time. We're out.